Welcome to the Road to the NHC, the weekly show that's your ticket to the 2025 National Horse Players Championship in Las Vegas, Nevada. Each week, we're going to dive into the world of tournament play, showing you how to navigate through feeders and qualifiers. Of course, my partner is none other than the 2022 NHC champion, David Harrison. David, it's good to be with you, back in from California. We did some really good work that we may or may not show. If we have a lively chat room and people are getting involved, you maybe get a sneak peek into the new handy view and some of the, just a new EquinEdge, if you will. And it's amazing. And so many new tools and things like that. But we're going to have to feel it today. We're going to have a good energy on this show. And we're going to go through, of course, the feeders, which is race 1 through 3 at Gulfstream Park and races 3 through 5 at Aqueduct, your home turf. Also, of course, we've got the new horse analysis and workout analysis. And we've got 6 analysts, including myself, you included, that are putting notes. You're doing, of course, the NYRA circuit. I'm doing Gulfstream Park. We've got... for this meet of Fairgrounds, Justin's doing Fairgrounds. Oldie is doing Oaklawn Park. Jake is doing Turfway Park. If you haven't been watching what Jake's been doing, it's been sick. Dan is doing a lot of the workout analysis. And then it's going to all make sense when you see the new layouts and format of EquinEdge here in about a month, maybe a month and a half. Then it'll all make sense. Everything's just going to be so seamless and easy to use.
Yep. Good morning, Scotty. Based on our conversation yesterday, I'm excited about the new EquinEdge, the new improvements. And as far as the notes are concerned, I've looked at some of the notes on the other tracks, and they're real good. I mean, we got a good team here. And I hate to toot my own horn, but if you look at some of my notes, especially on the 8th and 7th and 8th and 9th races yesterday, hey, it could have hopefully get a few winners because we got a couple of wire winners that I picked up on. So, yeah, we're just trying to help and give you a couple of tips on horses that may be live that, may be overlooked. And we got pretty decent prices on both of them. But I just want to shout out to everybody. I just realized it is Friday the 13th. So happy Friday the 13th. And I will say Friday the 13th is normally not an unlucky day for me. I don't believe in all that crap. My biggest pick 6 I ever hit was on a Friday the 13th. Yeah, back just after the Hindenburg went down. That's the last time I hit a nice pick 6. But in all honesty, my wife's birthday is on the 13th, and also my mom's birthday is on the 13th. So how about that? So it portrays good things for today. So good luck, everybody.
It does for sure. Yeah. What's up, Mike? Hey, Gary, Rodney. What's up, Kent? Wiz in the house. Alfredo, my man. What's going on? Yeah, if we're active today, if there's a good chat room, because it always makes it great. Last week we had an amazing chat room, and the show just had a lot of great energy. So hopefully we can carry that on to today. And Gary, you haven't seen anything yet. I appreciate you saying that. We made some changes for a lot of different reasons, and we changed up to this. One of the reasons I will tell you had nothing to do with Bruno. It's just that we wanted to be able to cover. It's a very tough job that Bruno has to do. And we wanted to be able to cover more races, more horses, more tracks. And right now we have 6 of us, 6 analysts, you guys. So just so you know, and it's just going to continue to get better. And with the new format, it's going to be a lot easier. Right now, and I'll show you what you have to do now. You can see David's note here. But right now you have to do this, and you have to click on it, and you'll see the notes on workouts or horses. But that's going to change. That's going to change. It's going to be so simple to be able to see all the notes, never miss any of the notes. And so maybe we'll look at that. We'll look at that a little bit later. So,
Spiteful Lily was a nice winner. We had a conversation yesterday. I said, got to bet it's my lock of the day. And, sometimes they fire, sometimes they don't. But thought the horse was sitting on a huge race. I was just concerned that the track dried off awful fast. They got a ton of rain. They got about 1.5 inches of rain in Queens the night before. And it started out muddy, then went to good quickly. And by the middle of the part, it was fast. But there's still a little moisture in that track. I can guarantee you, even though they labeled it fast with all that.
You
rain.
gave me this horse yesterday. I was in California and I was so busy. I didn't even get a chance to bet it. But you gave me this horse early, well before. And good call on that. And then you had you had a note here in this race on the Mama's Gold, and you said Speedy Philly has an excellent record on off tracks, including 3 consecutive wins. I saw that. That was huge. Has highest wet track GSR in the field and is a serious wire threat, and that's exactly what happened.
Right. And again, the horse can run. I've seen this horse amazingly at huge prices get real. This horse gets brave on the front end. When it can clear, it doesn't matter what the fractions are, because when I saw the fractions yesterday, I'm like, oh, this horse is going to get fried. It was fast. And probably I would assume that the horse got a nice speed figure, but yeah, that was an impressive race. So sometimes they click, but I got nailed before on an NHC qualifier last year where that horse beat me at 40-1 on the front end on an off track. I'm like, damn, that horse got awful brave. And that horse, you know, you can see some horses when they clear 2 or 3 or 4 lengths, they just love coasting down the straight. You know, they get brave and they're like, hey, this is fun. But when they get pressed early, you know, sometimes they pack it in. So it worked out well yesterday. Hopefully we'll have the same success today.
I'm sure we will. We got 52 minutes before we can have in our feeder play. So we'll look at the feeders. I'll pull this up here. You can see Gulfstream Park races 1 through 3. I did handicap those. And of course, I know you did Aqueduct 3 through 5. So we should be able to get through these feeders pretty easily in this 52 minutes and actually give some good information. So feel free to chime in on something you like, you guys. Alfredo, I know you're going to be busy today at Gulfstream Park, but if you have any input in the Gulfstream Park races, I would love to know. We would love to know. So
absolutely.
So let us know that. But let's get out to Gulfstream Park race number 1. Now, of course, we have live streaming from Gulfstream Park. We do not from Aqueduct. But we will play the sound on that. And I think we can still get in like races 1 and 2. David, do you have notes on races 1 and 2?
Yeah. In all honesty, this first race at Gulfstream, I really struggled with. And I still haven't made my final choice, but I've got a few ideas who I think I'm leaning on. But if we run that race simulator, and this to me is a wide open race. And let me just look at and again, the first thing I normally do especially with a wide open race like this, I pull up the pace metric and put it in order and see, can we possibly have a wire-to-wire winner here? This is a race on the main track, 12-5 claimer for 2-year-old fillies. And it looks like we got the 7 as the lone speed here, correct?
So the 7 looks to be the lone speed. And here's the key for me is that Jaramillo's aboard. And Jaramillo's going to get this horse out of the gate fast. Look at this horse has had some inside posts with some, 8 other horses in here and 6 other horses in here and stop. But this horse clearly needs the lead and gets 6 furlongs now on the dirt. Jaramillo's aboard. You're going to have to beat the 7 for sure. There's no question about that. I think let me see if I put a note on this. I think I did. Yeah, front runner gets Jaramillo for the first time. Currently, he's one of the best gate jockeys. I believe that we have at Gulfstream Park. There's really not much in here, and that's got to be a consideration here, David. I didn't feel like there was a lot of talent in here. The one horse is training pretty good. Not great, but just good. It's getting overbet, I think. But, you're drawing the rail, the connections. You can see Dan put a note in here, looked much sharper with blinkers, really seemed to dial the horse in. So maybe, the horse is getting blinkers as a first-time starter.
First-time starter, right.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah, I don't love the rail post.
Me either.
First-time starter. So I would fade this horse a bit. Obviously, the horse can win and good connections, picks up Luis Saez, who's been on fire. He's going to be a big factor at this championship meet this winter. And again, I think the 7's a very strong wire-to-wire threat. I'm not sure I like the 3 Kiss Cam, but obviously has a shot. But the horse that I have some interest in, and I'm probably going to settle on here and land on, is the 4 horse, Cicatrez for Perez. And the only reason is this horse's lone start, it only had 1 start, and it ran pretty evenly at 6-1 and a maiden 25 claimer. Now drops down. I give every horse one chance, to get an education over the racetrack. And the only reason I'm going to use this horse in the contest is getting a better price than the 7. So I think what do we have? EE morning line on that horse is 4-1 off a morning line of a program morning line of 6-1. I'm looking at the wrong horse. So 6-1 morning line, 4-1 EE morning line, and right now almost
9-1.
It goes 9-1. Well, it won't be 9-1. It'll be a lower price, but yeah, I'm decided I'm going to settle on that 4 horse, second time. And I'm just looking at the trainer stats to solidify my opinion here. And let's see if that brings me any clarity. All right, it's a 10% trainer, Carlos Perez, but first race back off a layoff, 13%. A little higher than his normal percentage. That's all right. So yeah, I'm gonna give a shot with the 4 on top here.
I did think that you had to at least give the 5 horse a long shot look at 45-1. Look at 7-1 EE morning line. It's been bet in all 4 starts, but look at the GSR. The GSR goes from 41 last time out. We know, look at that GSR. That's a low GSR. The horse wanted no part of synthetic. Just from that perspective alone, gets the bug, gets 111 pounds. You get 111 pounds. Your GSR is jumping up, a big amount, 18 points. So, I don't think that look at this. This looks like a wide open field. Why not a horse like the 5 Saturn's Ghost? And look at the race simulator. It only has the horse 2 lengths back in a race that just looks wide open. There's, so many suspect horses in here. The 3 horse. I thought the 3 horse would be 8-5 in here, honestly, because, it's just dropping big in class. This really is a big drop in class. So Tyler jumps aboard. There's just no way of knowing. But that's the point of, I don't think this is a race where this is a 2-1 shot or a 5-2 shot. The 1 horse is mired on the rail. The 7 horse has been stopping regularly. I'm just saying, then you have a horse like the 8 who's 9-1 right now. For me, this is the best value. And although I think the 7 could go gate to wire, I think the 8 horse, my Emmy Award, this is the horse I'm going to have to settle in on, because this horse got a nice second place finish. Look at the time before that, it broke from the rail and broke 10th. The time before that, it got second only by 4 lengths. The time before that, it raced 9 horses and ran pretty good. And the time before that, it broke in its first start. It didn't break well. The GSR is the highest it's been since 3 races back where it got second place. And the race simulator has the horse right there. I have to take that value and go with the 8. So I'm going with the 8. My man, what's going on, Matt? How are you? We got Joe in the house. What's going on? Buenos suertes.
Hey, Matt. Welcome.
And so
two of the first 3 races at Turfway.
Yeah, but you have to see. I don't know if you've looked, David, but hey, Daniel, but and I got to go to it. Jake's notes have been on fire. I'm going to show you this on 12-11. We've got a little bit of time. He had this 5 horse. Look at it. Look at the note. This is something that can influence you. Drops to maiden claimer off a first start at Keeneland. Connections are sneaky with long shots. You need to look at these notes. I'm not saying this is a horse you go bet a bunch of money on, but this is a horse you're going to use just off of that note. And by the way, Jake knows this circuit. He knows the trainers. He knows everybody, kind of like you know New York. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Jake knows Kentucky. So Jake's been a great addition. So he had that. Let's see what else he had. He had a note on the 1 horse, Cog, who dead heated for first. Look at that. Owner trainer combo, also bred this one, 33% jockey trainer combo. And he had a really good note on this horse. Yeah. So and there's more in here. And I didn't even get a chance to look at yesterday, but I'm assuming he had some good notes yesterday. Did you happen to look?
Yeah, I didn't play Turfway. I didn't look in all honesty. He's working on the New York circuit. But yeah, the one thing that you can guarantee at Turfway, I remember last year, you're going to get prices. You're going to get bombs. I just thought sometimes the form was a little spotty and some of these races were inscrutable, but that's why I wouldn't rely more on the notes on Turfway than any other when I play, because these races are normally wide open, and you can get nice prices there. Yeah. And
So
Matt makes a good point. With
yeah,
EE help, I feel more comfortable playing Turfway with EE rather than just going in blindly.
for sure. And look what his note was here. Training well over the Turfway synthetic. Cox will be tough to beat, and then when you match that up to the EquinEdge picks as well. Look, it was even money on the EE morning line, 34% to win. Top EquinEdge pick. Might sound like I'm selling it. I'm actually really not trying to sell it. I'm just like it's impressive to me because when you take a track like Turfway Park, all of us that have been doing this a long time know how freaking difficult that track is, right, David?
Oh yeah, it's very challenging. Yeah, to say the least. Right.
Well, we can use all the help we can get wherever. And by the way, like I was saying, if you're just tuning in, we've redesigned and added so many more tools. And if there's some good energy in the show today, I might show it. The team doesn't like when I do that, but I might do it anyways and show you some of the new tools and also the new format of how this thing, it is insane. And I will say one thing. It's going to make the reading of the notes. Right now, you have to look to see if there is a note on all these, and that's a pain in the ass. But for those of you that have been with us for a long time, you know that if something isn't efficient or that we're going to make that change. And you also know, if you don't, I'll tell you that software development, you could have an idea. I get this all the time. Scotty, let's do this. I'm like, okay, well, that's 2 months of programming. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? It's like, It's not so simple. This stuff takes a long, long time, but the team has a really good plan for now and for the future. But you can expect some really cool releases. And I think the best releases of all time are coming in about, maybe they're telling me 3 weeks. I'm going to go worst case scenario and say 6 weeks, David.
Yeah, based on our conversation that we had yesterday, I am really looking forward to this because I think it's going to be much, even more user friendly than it is. Very valuable tools coming up, and we might get a sneak preview if the audience behaves. We may decide to, or participates. Scotty may decide to unleash a sneak preview here, but probably after we get through the feeders, because we got a little bit of a limit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm teasing a bit, but it's just such a different show when there's an energy in the chat. It just is. Last week we had it. It was great. Here's another note from Jake. He had the 6 horse, who was the top EquinEdge pick. Top pace square, EE first pick, top win percentage, lightly raced, drops in class. I'm telling you, like, Jake is he's a young man. He is no joke. Like, he is so good, you guys. So you want to take a look at his notes, and he doesn't listen. Jake isn't just going for favorites at all. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, exactly, Sylvain. That's what's going to be amazing. David were just talking about that because David's seen this entire thing. It's going to be amazing for NHC. Amazing. It's going to be really cool. Let me tell you something. We've done a lot of stuff that I've been excited about at EquinEdge, but there is no tool or no release that we're going to have here that I'm more excited about than this one. Even more than the race simulator, which I had that tool. I designed that probably 20 years ago, David, and I'm more excited about this release. So
you have reason to be excited about it based like what you showed me yesterday. It's going to be really good in my opinion.
It's neat. So, all right, one more look and see. But Jake had notes on half the winners at least. All right, let's go to Aqueduct, David. Why don't you just tell us? I mean, you have some notes here, but tell us what we should be looking for in this first race, because we're gonna want to at least make a bet in this opener at Aqueduct, even though it's not part of the feeder.
Yeah, let me just pull it up. Yeah, I have some notes in here. This is a 20,000 maiden claimer for fillies and mares 3 and up. Not normally my strongest race to play on the day because, I mean, this is the lowest maiden claimer level you get in New York. And these races have some real spotty horses that had a lot of opportunities and haven't gotten the job done, just can't break their maiden. So normally what I'm looking for in a spot like this is a horse that's somewhat lightly raced and hasn't had the opportunities that some of the other ones that have proven that themselves to be, non-winners, or it's going to take a lot to get to that point to break their maiden. So let me just pull up. Let me
just say while you're looking at that, I thought the 7 and 8 might duel, and I thought it would set it up for either the 2 or the 4 horse, and they're both prices 5-1 and 9-1 respectively. That was kind of the way I analyzed this race.
Yeah, I thought that the Top Scotty pick looks best to me by far. And I mean, I would almost go to the point. Let me just pull up some of my side notes here. This wasn't part of the feeder, so I don't have as many notes as normal. But if you look at this horse, here's my notes. Even though the horse has had 5 starts, I mean, this horse was claimed by Linda Rice back on April 15th for 40 with a freshening, came back off that layoff, stretching out to a mile, now drops back down to a 20 level. That's probably where this horse belongs. And, probably at the proper distance. The only thing is 2 back, the horse lost as a, 3 to 5, 1 to 2 favorite, 3 to 5. Yeah. And but if you look at this field, this is such a weak. There's a lot of horse. The 5's coming off a really long layoff. I mean, the 7's got an outside chance. Has had 2 chances at the distance. Also lost as a prohibitive favorite 2 back. So I would almost. I think this might be a good claim for Linda Rice, and you'll notice she'll drop down horses off the claim and win, and then bounce them right back in the same level. So the small drop doesn't bother me. And I think this is a shrewd claim. And Lascano picks up the mount for the 2nd time. So I think all systems look go for this 8 horse. Looks first.
The 7's going to have to send, and the 8's fast. And so that's why I think there could be a speed duel. Let's see what happens.
Oh, I'm trying to get the race up.
Right. So the 7 and the 8 are dueling. The 7's got a nose in front of the 8. Now the 8's got a nose in front of the 7, which pretty much does the 9 to 5 favorite in. You can see the 7 is shoving all in. Advantage 8 horse right now. 7 is completely going to be toast. I can't imagine the 7 horse rebounds from this.
Now, it will be interesting to see how this develops, because yesterday it looked like, besides the 2 wire-to-wire jobs late, it was an even track, and you could close or go wire-to-wire. So the track is really even. So we'll see. And it might have been earlier in the card. I thought it was a little more of a bias towards closers or stalkers. So, but this 8 looks pretty strong in the lead here.
It does. The 2's got horse, though. The 2 has got horse at 8 to 1.
Yeah.
Let's see. But the 8's going to be gone. Yeah. And the 2's going to end up getting 2nd. Here comes the 4 horse making a big move at the end. Probably going to get up for 3rd. But, yeah, I mean, 8 to 4, what it's going to end up being.
Yeah, logical horse. And to get 2 to 1, I think is a decent price. And I don't mind. Yeah, again, if this was a mandatory race at NHC, I have no problem taking a horse that I think is a likely winner at 2. Because if you look at it, it's $10 in your starting out in your bankroll. So, I thought this was a solid play.
That's why it's so important. You have to look at the horse's style. And when you look at the 7 horse, look, you can see that the horse clearly needs the lead. And then when you run the race simulator, you can see that these horses are super fast. And there's no way the 8 style is similar. So there's no way the 8 could afford to let the 7 go. And so, what's the 7 supposed to do? The only reason why you would even use the 7 is just in case the 8 broke bad, then the 7 gets an easy lead. But that didn't happen. And of course, one of them was going to be toast, and it ended up being the 7 horse, who ended up being your favorite. You ended up getting 2 to 1 on the 8 horse. Incredible.
Yeah, that's a good price. And also, I know this is a small factor, and this is not an end-all statement. But when you look at George Weaver, who's a trainer of the 7, when I think of George Weaver in New York, what do I think of, and what do most horse players think of? Turf, right? He's a turf trainer. And he specializes in sprints and dirt. I mean, and he's a little cold now since they switched over to no turf race, all dirt racing in New York. And that's what we're going to find here in New York, Scotty, over the next couple of weeks, maybe next couple of months. You're going to have some horses who are, strictly turfers, and they're up here. And they're not going down a Gulfstream Park because the racing, the turf races down their card are going to be too strong. And so the trainers are going to give it a shot. Like if you have a horse in a barn, you're like, hey, let's see how it goes on dirt. So you're going to see some of those horses, and some of them will be overbet based on our turf form. I saw it in the last couple of days. I noticed that. So just watch out for that. You're like, oh, this horse looks great. but his only dirt race was not good, and he's a turfer, but they're trying him. And some of the horses will switch over, but because some of these races are, don't have as much competition as they did, during the fall and obviously summer meet at Saratoga. So that's a trend to watch out for.
All right, so here we go. We've got this race at Gulfstream Park. We talked about this. You're going to end up going with the 4-horse. I'm going to take, even though I think the 7's probably going to go gate to wire, I'm playing against the 1 the first time. I normally, in a race like this, where you have the horses that have run before that they don't look reliable, I'll normally take a first-time starter. I will say that. And maybe the 1 can work out a trip. The horse is definitely training pretty good, but I'm going to play against it because it's 5-2 anyway, so I don't think it's worth the risk, and I'm going to take a chance with the 5-horse.
Okay. Oh, hold on a second. You're on the 5?
I'm going to take the 5.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were taking a 5 or the 8. Okay, so you're on the 5.
No, you're right. I'm taking the 8. Thank you. No,
okay.
I'm taking the 8. Listen, I think the 5 is a decent long shot. Look, but everything is pointing towards this 8 running a good race with the second place finish last time out. Listen, one of the considerations for me why I like the 8-horse here too, I'll tell you, because on the dirt, going 5.5. Well, first of all, on the straightaway, on the 1-turn races on dirt at Gulfstream Park, almost no horses run well when they have the 8-hole. Look at that, and that horse got second. I mean, that was a really, really nice effort from there. And now the horse is it's still drawing outside, but let's see here. Yeah. The more I'm looking at this on here too, it could be in between horses. Yeah. Are
you wavering? Are you wavering?
I am a little bit. The expected trip might not be as good. That was a good effort there, but I would have loved to see this horse draw an inside post. Can I tell you, these are the types of horses you put notes on because and you follow, because you put a good note that says, hey, when this horse draws inside, it keeps on drawing outside. If you know the configuration and the style of the surface and track and distance, then you can come up with a really good note. And then when that actually happens, you're going to have an aha moment. For me, I would have loved this horse more if it had an inside post, the more I'm looking at this, to be honest with you. So I'm going to put a note, wait for inside post. Better post.
So are you switching back to the 5?
I am going to take the 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I am going to take the 5.
I'm on the 4.
Yep.
And I guess if I had a backup, obviously with this contest, you have to make a secondary pick. I've already made my pick, but I'm going to change my backup to the 7. So I'm going to be 4 on my primary pick. My alternate pick would be the 7, the speed. I think the 7's going to last for a long time. I'd probably get the board.
Yeah.
But I like the 4 from a 25 claimer dropping down. I think the SOR goes down to 42, and lightly raced, and maybe improve a little bit at this level.
Okay, so go ahead and start us off. Go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, you want to start? Go to Gulfstream, right? Just stay at Gulfstream and then back.
See you, Sylvain.
Hey, Sylvain. All right, run the simulator. So we have here. Let me just pull up this race. For some reason, my laptop's running really slow. I apologize. Okay, we got a 17.5, 9 wins to 3 lifetime for 3 and up. And we're on the synthetic going 1 mile and 70 yards. And let's see, the top Scotty pick is Italian Symphony. And this pace should be set by the 4 King Valerio. Looks like a hopeless long shot. Let me just look at my notes here, Scotty. Man, this thing's going like molasses today. Just bear with me.
Oh, you're fine. I'll go. We got Italian Symphony, and one of the things I'll do in what appears to be a tough race. I mean, look at these win percentages. Doesn't look like the 3 and 4 are much of a factor in here. But what I like to do is I like to go just one by one. So I'll take the past SOR, win percentage, GSR, and then I'll look at it currently. The other thing I like to look at, you guys, is odds, because David, if a horse is 50-1 to win a race and it loses by 3 lengths, didn't it outrun its odds?
Absolutely, 100%.
sometimes we don't forgive. We're like, well, the horse lost by 5 lengths. That's not the way you should be looking at it. Look at all the factors together. So that's not the case here with the one horse. But, this is a contender. It went on the turf last time out. The GSR dropped. Now it's going on the synthetic. It's done okay on the synthetic. That shouldn't be a problem. It's got a decent win percentage, EE morning line. I don't know that, I flip a coin on these 4 horses, honestly, as I'm looking at these. Normally I wouldn't like a horse that's actually moving up in class so much, but like the 3 horse, but it's Safi Joseph, and the win percentage didn't drop. What I look for when horses are moving up in class, if the win percentage drops a bunch and the GSR drops, then maybe I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw that out. But that's not the case here, which makes this race super difficult.
Yeah, it is 3 or 4 contenders. We got 2 Safi Josephs, right? And which one to choose from is up in the air. But as far as the one horse, the horse ships down from Laurel Park, but has won over the synthetics here at Gulfstream at 5 furlongs back in October of 23. So it can handle the track. Bravo picks up the mount. He's a little cold. Hasn't been getting the best mounts, only 8% at the meet so far, right? So, and the 2, was racing for 8,000. None was 2 lifetime. Has a win over the track. The last one was wire to wire on the main track, correct? Yep. Again, I didn't spend a lot of time in this race. I'm not going to use the 5 speed control. Is going to be overbet with Irad. I'm looking for a little bit of a price, and may end up with the post-time favorite though, because I'm going to settle here. I'm going to land on the other Safi Joseph horse, Warbeat. Off a kind of a brief freshening. This horse has won 2 races at the distance, 2 races over the track, has positional speed. I like that outside stalking post. So I'm all over the 6 here, Scotty, Warbeat. And I wasn't interested. I guess if I had a backup pick, it would be the other Safi Joseph, the 2. So I think this race is going to be controlled by the Safi Joseph horses, in my opinion, with the 1 having an outside chance.
All right. So I'm going to go with the 1 horse because, it was 8% to win last time out. The GSR dropped. It didn't run a completely terrible race on the turf against that field. And now it's going up to 25%. The GSR goes up 8 points. Yeah, it's facing a little bit tougher, but there's, only 3 other contenders in here. It's the top EquinEdge pick. So I'm going to take a chance on the 1.
Okay. I'm going to lock you on the 1. I am on the 6, Safi Joseph, Warbeat, stalking the pace and taking over in the stretch.
So this race, number 3, maiden special weight. These are Florida breds, 2-year-olds. A purse of $45,000. They're going 8 furlongs on the turf. You can see the starting point. So it's not a good place to be wide, although there's only 7 horses in this race. But is this race just all about the 8-horse Bluff, who's even money on the EE morning line?
No, I don't think so, Scotty. I think there's a couple of contenders here. A Bluff is obviously going to be a factor. Off the last 2, a nice 3rd off the turf, going 1.70 miles, and a nice 2nd. Going 7.5 furlongs. So this is on the turf. The horse is shown since that first turf race was probably its best race. But here's my angle on races like this, Scotty, and you know where I'm going most likely is that I just am a sucker for these horses trying turf for the first time. So the horse that I'm trying to get home is the 9. Jorge Delgado, first-time turfer, shipping down from Monmouth Park. He actually has the same breeding as the 8-horse is being out of Flatter. Now, Flatters can run on the turf, and I got to look at the GSR, but as soon as I see those 2 dirt races, the horse actually had trouble lines in both, which is only solidifies my opinion that the horse hasn't really had a chance to run. Had a decent 3rd with a trouble line in his first start at Monmouth. A little bit of a brief freshening into a 2-year-old stakes race, which was probably overmatched, but just totally eliminated itself getting off slow. The issue is the horse is this horse just a bad breaker, and it's going to be that trend is going to continue, which you always have to watch out for. But I think stretching out, hitting the turf for the first time, and let's see, we've got David Egan, who was off to a sort of a slow start, but picked up a couple of wins in the last week or two. I think this horse could be live, first time turf. So you know me, first time turfers, I'm all over the 9 horse. Gianluca be lucky. Hopefully Gianluca will be very lucky today. That's
listen, I was surprised to see with David Egan and Delgado, 19% jockey trainer combination. So they do good together, and Delgado giving Egan a lot of opportunities. I was interested in Curve, the 5 horse, a little bit, the first time starter, who's just working okay. I didn't see anything great in the workouts that I read anyways, but the horse has got a big GSR within this field. I mean, it's pretty dominant action, in fact. So 75 and Bluff has a 58. Just off of that alone, if you don't think that Bluff is the horse, don't you have to go with the first time starter, Safi Joseph, and Zayas is aboard? So I know this, right?
Yeah, but I always have a thing. I prefer my first time starters going a shorter distance, and I've been burnt before. But again, with that GSR and Safi Joseph, it's kind of scary. So, but I'm looking for a little bit of a better price. We got a morning line on the 9 horse at 9-2, EE morning line at 8-1. I mean, got a decent GSR, but you know, obviously the 5's GSR towers over these horses. So it wouldn't surprise me if this 5 horse hits the turf running and you know, does well. But you'll see as we go forward, my strategy in a lot of these NHC contests are to look for a little value. Okay, so a lot of times I'm going to be focusing on a 3rd or 4th choice because I found all it takes is a horse getting a bad trip as a favorite, and then you blow up the board at $15, $18 and you're out. So that's my strategy in these races.
You know, I'm trying to forgive Bluff's last race, and I might be able to, because look, the horse went to the 6th path, and you know, like, I mean, it was finishing at least. It was second in the stretch, and then it finished. And maybe there was a lone front runner that went gate to wire. That's certainly a possibility. So, you know, I want to forgive it. But either way, it doesn't matter whether I do or not, because the 8's going to go off as the big favorite, probably 4-5. So I'm going to take a chance on the 5 horse and that GSR. So I'm going to go with Curved.
Okay, and I will tell you that the 8 will be overbet again because it is IRAD, switching from Vasquez to IRAD. And I did notice this also. Bluff had the rail post in that first outing. That's a little tricky going 7.5, in my opinion. And I think this is a better post stalking. So, yeah, the horse is going to be tough. But like I said, I'm looking for a little value. First time turfer with the 9, Gianluca be lucky.
All right, let's go to race number 3.
And
right,
that
so we got
would
3, 4, and 5 over at Aqueduct. All right, so this is going to be mostly you. I think I'll be able to contribute a little bit. I did look at this race. I did like Running Ray, the 4 horse. But we'll run this race first and see. But yeah, I was on the 4.
Yeah, and you might see a couple of valuable notes in there if you check.
Okay,
that would help. That's going to help me.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. So the 2 horse, is the 2 horse going gate to wire in here?
I will tell you, Filoki's Flight may be tough to catch. All right, but I think, let me just go up to my notes here. I took a lot of notes on these Aqueduct races. Yeah, Filoki's Flight, you know, obviously 6-5 off 2 wire-to-wire wins at a mile, 1 on a sloppy track off a layoff. Stays at the mile distance here for Linda Rice. Liscano stays on. I didn't put this in my notes, but I believe I did. And again, this horse was favored both times out. And had pretty easy trips on the front end. But there was a voided claim. And I don't know if we picked that up here, but I'm always concerned with these voided claims because NYRA doesn't release any information about these claims, the reason for the voided claim.
Right.
There can be a number of things. The horse might have came up, not perfect in the post-race inspection. I don't know. The vet might have. Who knows? And that's something that I would like to press NYRA on releasing because it's kind of not disclosing all the information that they have to the horse players.
Right.
So that leads me to be a little skeptical at this point. But obviously, this horse could go wire to wire. May face a little pace pressure, though, that I was concerned about. Let's just bear with me a second. The Magnolia Midnight, the 5, should press this horse. It's going to be a little more contentious pace, I believe. And I'd be looking for a horse who's sitting off the pace. And I think Running Ray, I agree with you, Scotty. The top Scotty pick may sit the perfect trip here. This horse is rated slightly up the pace before and can do it again. I think the horse is in a perfect spot. But the horse that I just can't give up on here, and I am really enthused on actually placing a real win wager on, is the Scotty Longshot Midnight Trouble. And my notes are Scotty Longshot has solid second and last and would benefit from rapid pace through the closing style. It looks live here. And that's what I believe. I think that the 5 could press the 2 in this race. The track looked even to me yesterday. And I think the 4 probably will get the first run on the speed duel horses. But if you look at Midnight Trouble's last race, finished a good, hold on a second. I apologize. My computer is really slow. No,
you're fine. So the issue that I have with the 3 horse, and I did look at this horse, the only issue I have is, this horse is, it's not a bad breaker. It's just a slow breaker. And that's why that's why this horse isn't winning. That's just, it's been facing some tough competition, but that's a big part of it. That's why do you, and this is just for teaching purposes, but, and I actually learned this recently from Kathleen O'Connell, who trains my horses, and she's like, I'm like, why are you working? Because, I have a horse right now, as you know, called Sarkis, who should be running, hopefully, God willing, in the next couple of weeks. Did have a workout today. I haven't heard how he did, but he's been training really nicely. It's Sarkis if you're interested. But, and why do you, I'm like, why do you train him so much in the gate? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. Sometimes horses balk going before they go in the gate. Some horses go into the gate and then balk, and then some break slow out of the gate. And if you don't break good out of the gate, you're going to cost yourself usually a lot of wins. And so it's so important that a horse is kind to themselves in the gate. It's just a very important part of the game that I don't think many people talk enough about.
I agree. But if you look at Midnight Trouble, ran a nice second to Filoki's Flight. And I think Filoki's Flight had its own way in that race on the front end. And if you look back in Midnight Trouble, had a 9-post, has a 3-post now. To me, that's better. And had back-to-back wins at a mile back in April and May over this racetrack. So the horse can prove that it can go. It's won 3 races at the distance. And second time off the claim for Tom Morley, who had a couple of winners yesterday. And I think this horse is definitely live as long as it gets a pace up front.
You actually make a really good point, by the way, and I missed that. And that is, and we always talk about this, I've been saying all along that you need like inside middle post, that the outside posts don't win as much as you think unless you are the speed or you're very, very tactical. And this horse doesn't have a lot of speed, and it's been breaking from the 9-hole, which is death. You have an outside post and you don't have any speed, you're not winning. It just almost never happens. And then look, when this horse had the 5-hole and the rail, even though it broke slow, it won both of those races and now draws the 3-hole. That's actually a really big angle right there. Good point.
Right. And the 2 back-to-back wins it had over the track had the 1-post and the 5-post. So, and I totally agree with you. If you watch these mile races at Aqueduct, the horses who draw the 9, 10, 11 posts, if it's a valuable post, if you have positional stalking speed. If you're a closer, you're going to lose ground. You're going to have to get a position in the back of the pack. Maybe you're going to try to come up the inside. So you're at a disadvantage as a dead stone closer on the outside. So very good point. You're moving into the three hole here.
Look at the EquinEdge community coming in. And what's up, Dave and Mike?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Dave.
Love it. Love it. All right, cool. Good. We'll take you for an hour, Mike.
All right. Hey, good luck with the snow. You got 2 feet. We got 2 inches. Keep it out there. Keep it over in Buffalo. We don't need it. It's about 24 degrees right now, and at least it's not as windy today. My wife was brave enough to take the dog for a walk. I'm like, I'm going to the man cave and doing my bike exercise and watching SportsCenter. So that's
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I can't wait to get down to South Florida, to be honest with you, and join you there, Scotty.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to see you, Dave. We have to do a dinner, okay, for sure.
Absolutely. We're going to have to sit out in the paddock at Gulfstream and soak in some sun after it being in the teens and 20s. I'm going to look forward to it.
When are you going to be out?
First or second week of January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe hopefully all things go well and you can come watch Sarkis run.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. I'd be definitely into that.
46 is perfect weather. It was perfect weather in California as well. It's kind of chilly. It was really nice. Okay. You're going Aqueduct race number 3. You're going with the 3 horse. I'm going with the 4 horse. I really love that's why you have to watch there's so many little things, David, when people talk about how hard horse racing can be, but wow, like if you think about that, right? There's so many things you have to think about, but one of them is you got to look at the past post positions and the horse's style, and then look at today. Like, and when you can put all those things together sometimes, then you can win. But I agree with you. I think this 3 is a big player today. So I think you've got a good one there. And maybe a 3-4 exacta box or a 2-3.
You read my mind, my friend. You read my mind. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So we've got that's race number 3. We have to do race number 4 and race number 5 at Aqueduct, and we've got 13 minutes to do that. We're going to do race number 4 right now at Aqueduct, and then we're going to go and watch. We won't be able to watch, but I'll play the sound for Aqueduct race number 2. And then you can give us your opinion. But let me run the race here in race number 4 at Aqueduct.
Okay, race number 4 at Aqueduct. We're going 8 furlongs on the dirt. Maiden special weight, 3 and up. So
well, I can tell you that I thought the 5 horse Stroncino was the horse to beat the EquinEdge top pick. I did look at that horse, and I know on paper it looks like a tough race, but that horse actually should sit a good trip. And it broke from the inside post the last 3 races and didn't run as bad as it might look. And so you might, you might want to give the 5 horse a very strong look. I think it's going to run good. Now, the 8 horse is on that outside post. We've just talked about that outside. But the horse, this is my concern a little bit, is there's a lot of other horses that have some speed, and this horse could get carried out wide, and I'm not sure it's worth the risk. And it's not really a great breaker. If it breaks good and it's sitting in second behind the 1 horse, then maybe it'll be okay. I just don't know how it's gonna play out, so I went with the 5.
Yeah, I would. At first glance, I thought this horse is going to be really tough to beat, the 5 Stroncino. Jamie Ness now has a group of horses up here shipping up from the Mid-Atlantic. And this horse did ship up from actually Oak Lawn and Churchill, and was trained by Steve Asmussen. First time out over the track, 7 furlongs at 11-1. If you look at the trouble line, bumped and steady. So, that's a big angle for me. You had an excuse there. Had a race over the track, and actually that looked like a pretty solid time to me. Pretty solid race. So that horse is going to be tough to beat. But so I was almost going to key on that horse as a single with any horizontals I would play, but I couldn't resist looking for a long shot. You know me, Scotty. I wouldn't have done well at the NHC if I wasn't looking for some chaos going on here. And probably not a likely winner, but I like to see how the 2, the horse for Dutro, Ignite the Light, runs here. We got a couple of major changes here. First time gelding, first time Lasix, off a race that had bobbled at the break back in August at that Wilson Shoot, which is a very tricky race. I mean, this horse is 23-1 in a strong maiden race, and again, DeTore took them out, and he did the right thing. When you bobble at the break in that race, and you've got an outside 6 post out of 8. he probably just eased the horse and let the horse run, because so you can throw that race out. The horse hasn't really fired much and just been running evenly. But if you go back to its second start at a mile, which is the distance of this race, with the 4 posts, this horse stalked the speed and ended up finishing a nice third. And look who it lost to. The winner of that race was Sierra Leone. And I hope Matt Miller is not listening still, but I'd hate to bring up Sierra Leone. But when you can finish third, a length and a half off of a grade 1 winner and possible candidate for horse of the year, I will give that horse a shot every time. He was close to him, and he may be off form. I'm not sure. The gelding, first time gelding, could improve this horse. So I couldn't resist Scotty going with this 2 horse.
Okay, 2 for you.
On top, and I think the 5 would be mine.
All right, we need your opinion here. They're going in the gate here, so we need your opinion in race 2.
Oh, race 2. Hold on a second.
Race 2.
My computer's too slow, my friend.
Let's see here. So 5-year-old gelding, Scotty Longshot is in rare form lately. Trainer is only 9% first off the claim. So kind of mixed emotions there. The 3-horse top Scotty picked, solid second and only try at Churchill Downs. So that's a nice note on the 3-horse.
Yeah, I think push comes to shove. I didn't, in all honesty, make any wager on the race. But if push comes to shove, I am going with the 6, Principe Diori on top.
Okay. All right. So the 5-horse is going to break on top into that first turn, but the 3-horse is not giving it up. And so these 2 are going very, very fast dueling, and that's not going to bode well for either one of them. Now, I don't know. I don't blame the jockey on the inside on the 3 because you're trying to protect that position. But, you know, those are some of the little things that you don't realize when you're looking at the past performances the next time the horse runs, and you don't see those things. You know, that's why sometimes watching video will help you. So depending on how this 3-horse finishes up, you may or may not bet him next time out. But really, the horse sitting the best trip is your horse, the 6-horse, just been cruising on the outside. They went 23 and 3.
It's pretty fast.
7 and 4, which is pretty fast.
Yeah, it's not bad. But the 6 does look like it's getting a perfect stalking trip, right?
Well, ears pricked. I mean, just really running easily. Now, the 4-horse Brizzanti on the inside is certainly running good. But 6 is cruising on the outside of them right now. That's Principe de Oro. And 5 is going to back up. Here comes the 4 being prodded a little bit, but seems to have some horse. The 3's not fully done, but the jockey in the red cap on the 6-horse is looking around. So it looks like the race is between these 3 horses. And the 4 Presente goes on the outside right now. I'm not going to get up there, though. And it looks like your horse is running the best. Looks like the 4 could get the measure of the 3-horse, though, striking sparks. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, look at this 4.
4 is coming.
You're not out of. Whoa!
Oh, baby.
Whoa. I have no idea. That is, you know, there's very few times that I won't call something. I have no idea. We'll have to look at the slow mo.
I'll call it.
Okay.
6-4.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've got some.
I got some canyonies, right? All right.
Yeah. Well, I love race callers who call stuff like that. That's cojones.
I could be wrong, but I'd like to. My mistake, Scotty, is I called it before I watched the slow mo.
Well, no, I mean the 4 was just finishing. Okay, the head bob's going to definitely go to the 4-horse, but the 6's head's in front. I don't know. I don't know, man.
6 by a nostril. Did you notice?
That angle
got a hair hanging out of his nostril. That's what the wind. It's going to be the hair coming out of the nostril.
Yeah, that's fun. That's
he really kind of just was getting a little tired there, chasing that fast pace. Not going to say he moved too fast, but the 4 ran a really, really good race.
So 6-4. So your eyes. You better get those glasses on.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an ink.
Oh,
really?
As they would say, stop the presses and hold the phone. And this will be interesting. I didn't see any
I didn't see anything. Well, look at the
Was
one
the
thing you
6
can
bearing
see.
out?
Well, you can see that 6 horses out in like the 4 or 5 path. That's
Mhm.
maybe pushing the 4 out a little bit. Listen, 6 did not have a good break. I'm looking at the head on right now, and that horse really ran huge. It was not a good break.
Right, and the 5 kinda just took out his path in the beginning a little bit. The
Hmm.
6 would have been closer. But that, because you had a pretty lively pace, it might have benefited the 6 in the long run because it set the perfect stalking trip.
Yeah. All right. What we've got to do, we're just going to have
Yeah.
to go to race number 3 over at Gulfstream Park. We've got one more race to do. If you're playing in the feeder, you have to make sure you have your plays in ahead of time. So we've got race number 3. We did race number 2. Oh no, at Aqueduct, right? Aqueduct 5.
Okay, we went through the 4. I like the Dutro long shot, ignite the light, and you're on the 5. The 5 would be my backup. I'm going to play a 5-2 exactly there. All right, the last race, the 5th race at Aqueduct. How much time do we have?
We only have we've got about 4 or 5 minutes. So
Oh, okay. So I'll start off here again. We have a top Scotty pick, Heavenly Light. That's also 31% on the win end, which normally bodes pretty well for your success if you're playing that horse. And I think this horse is going to be really tough. The 3, I thought at 6-1 morning line, 5-2 EE morning line. Second win percentage, it looked like a shot here with what's the trainer? I can never pronounce St. Louis. Uriah St. Louis is normally St. Louis, a Parks trainer who has shipped up to New York and won with huge prices in the past. But I'm going to try to be another wise guy here, Scotty, and I'm looking at the Reynolds horse, the 4 Aerialist. First time at this level, had what are my notes here? Chased the pace and tired. Again, I'll give any horse one start to get an education. And because I think the 2 is a likely winner, I don't really want the price here. So I'm taking a shot with this 4. He's only a 1% win candidate, and it's 25 EE morning line rather than a 15, which does concern me. But I just think that maybe a little improvement. And even if the horse finishes second at a good price, the place price may exceed the win place on the 2 horse. So I'm going to take a shot with the 4 Aerialist here, Scotty.
So I know the 6 is going to be on the lead, and Abreu is putting the low win percentage jockey aboard Uski and Shannon Uski. But that's interesting to me. I kind of wanted to go with this 6 horse, but I'm not sure I can do it. But I don't know if this is going to help or hurt somebody, but I'm going to say it anyways. I have a note on the 2 horse, Heavenly Light. 2 races back, my note says, not all that. Now, I either had a lot of money on this horse and it lost and I was pissed, but it has burned money as the favorite. Look at it. It did get 3rd last time out. It ran a better race, but I guess I'm questioning this horse's heart. So for that reason, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with this 3 horse. Vague.
Right. The 3 horse comes off, and it looks like it's improving every race. Comes off a second at 5-1 at Parks, going to distance, cuts back. It's got a shot. And the one thing I don't like about Heavenly Light, coming off 2 turf races, actually 3 of the 4 races were turf. The other one was turf meant. So that dirt race that you see that finished second, that was a turf race that was rained off. So this horse, they were looking for the turf with the City of Light. So, like I said, these turf horses are going to try dirt because DePaz evidently is not shipping down to Gulfstream, and puts blinkers on. If it runs back to that dirt race, it's going to be tough here. But I agree with you. There's enough question marks. It lost twice as the favorite. It's enough question marks to fade this horse a bit. So I'm on the long shot, the 4 Aerialist.
All right, we've got a Gulfstream Park opener here. 12-5 claimers, fillies 2 years old. These are maidens, and they're going 6 furlongs on the dirt. These outside posts don't do well. I know the 10 horse Wink of an Eye is getting bet, but you're talking about a horse that doesn't have any speed. These are the types of, look, it's 12 to 1 on the E morning line and only 2%. I know you look at this horse on paper, and it's Kathleen O'Connell, my trainer, but you just can't play horses like this. They just, like, for this horse to win, this race has to fall apart. And you have to play the numbers. Like 12 to 1 E morning line. It's 5 to 1 right now. I don't know. Maybe something's going on, but I can tell you how many times I've seen horses from the 10-hole win on this one-turn dirt.
Oh yeah. And you're on the. Are you on the 5 or the 8? I apologize. I locked you in.
No, I like the 8. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not envisioning a great trip for the 8. And if it wins, I'm going to kick myself. But I'm going with the 5 horse, who's 38 to 1. Look at this horse. This horse is 7 to 1 EE morning line. The GSR is going up from 41 to 59. I mean, I got to take a chance on that, especially if I feel like the favorites are kind of vulnerable. I mean, look, your lukewarm favorite right now is the first-time starter in Infinitely, and this horse is 3 to 1 right now, and on the rail. Like,
yeah, I'm a little dubious about the rail position for first-time starters, like I brought up before. But hey, we're reversing roles here. You're on a 35 to 1 shot, and I'm on my horse is only 7 to 1. What's okay? All right.
Yeah, and then look how dead the 3 horse is, Kiss Cam. Like, this horse, clearly the connections are not playing this horse. That's clear.
Right, picking up Tyler. Right.
Yeah,
who's going to be one of the leading jockeys down there, probably in the top 5.
Yeah,
he's got some good agent. Got to have some good mounts down there this championship season. So,
no change. Thanks, Dave. Look, the 8 horse is getting play, and the 7 horse is getting play as well. Like, the 4 horse is even getting some play, but yeah, for the 3 horse to be dead on the board like that speaks volumes. I wouldn't play that horse with your money, with how dead that horse is on the board. That doesn't mean you just follow the odds, but there's just, if you've been doing it a long time, you kind of see these indicators, and that horse is dead.
And Rancho Vista is taking it. Basically, the 7 was the wire-to-wire threat is about the price that I figured, and I think that's a fair price on the 7 also.
Yeah,
but I'm going with the 4. 7 to 1 is about off a 5, 6 to 1 morning line. That's a decent enough price for me in this first leg. Well, good luck with your 40 to 1 shot.
Yeah, no, thank you. Good luck to you as well. Like, you're getting 7 to 1 right now. This is a really wide open race. These are the exact kind of races why you don't take favorites. You just don't do it.
And this is a NHC race on a Friday, the first day. If it's one of the opening races, that could blow up that leaderboard right off the bat. That's so right. I have no qualms, especially when you have 2 entries. I might take the 4 on 1 entry and my long shot ticket to 5.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, why not? Because that's the way I'm going to approach it with 2 entries this year. 1 is going to be my main ticket. 1's going to be my long shot ticket.
I'll tell you within the first quarter mile if the 8's going to win or not. It just depends on the trip it's going to get, but
all right, Karnak. I believe you. Okay.
Here we go. One more to load. That's the 10 horse on the outside.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
O'Connell, wink of an eye, who's 6 to 1 right now from that 10 hole. Let's see what happens.
You just say wink of an eye.
Wink of an eye.
Okay, gotcha. Then they're off. Somebody got off bad.
He got off bad.
Emmy Award at the back. Good start inside for Kiss Cam.
Well, I can tell you the 8's not going to win.
Oh, okay. Good prediction, my friend. Good prediction. I'm on board with that.
Look at the 5 horse. David, that horse was 40 to 1 going in the gate.
Is Matt Miller still with us here?
Yeah, come on, Matt. Leave my horses alone.
Come on, you're killing us.
Look at the 8. Somebody I'll follow next time out. Look at the 8 rush up. Look where the 8's at right now in the middle, going through horses. Come on, tell me that horse wasn't live. That's too bad for the connection.
Yep.
That's a length and a half back to an improving Miami Award.
The 5 is not running. The 3, look at the 3 horse. The 3 horse got off at 6 to 1.
Yep.
What the heck?
Kiss Cam and Gaffleon. They're still the targets. They lead by 2 as Rancho Vista tries to
Look at the
bridge the gap.
7 though.
Gap
7's
of
no
4
joke.
to the rest.
Nope.
Here comes your
I thought-
4, but 7's going to beat this 3, I think.
Rancho Vista. Kiss Cam shortening up. Rancho
Here comes the
Vista trying
5.
to pick her up.
Get up third.
The wire. Kiss
Get
Cam.
up third. Look at how good the 8 ran too, though.
The 8 ran fantastic. With that
3,
slow
7,
break.
5,
So
8. Wow.
that's a horse to watch next time out, obviously. I'm not
6 to
giving
1.
any information that is not logical here. Wow.
That's insane. Wow. That doesn't. We killed that race. 3, 7, 5, 8, 4. 10 horse, of course, nothing from that post.
Right, and this was a wide open race, and I struggled with it. And the 4 ran okay. I mean, but no match for the 3 or the 7. And yeah, the 5 just what a rally. All right.
Good stuff. Look at that top pick. Look at that ice cold exacta in that race. Let's see what that thing paid. Huge. Let's see. 3-7 probables. The exacta 3-7. How's that for a $40 40 to 1 exacta, Dave? How is that, huh?
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Wow. And of course, the 1 didn't run at all. We talked about that.
No, right. We both faded the 1 from that rail position.
You know, and then the 10 horse. And then look at that 5 horse ended up running a good race. You know, I tell you what, I was pretty impressed with the way that 8 ran. You break like that, and then you rush up and you finish like that. Like you're probably the best horse in the race.
Agreed. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Able to get third. That horse was way back.
Yeah. So
and then if you look, no one else really made up a ton of ground besides the 8, right? Those are the 2 horses that were first and second around the turn. The 4 was stalking, but kind of got a little tired late. Scotty, you're moving to pools.
I know.
There you go.
Look at that. Insane. What a good run by the 5 horse and
all we had to do was just look at the top 2 EE picks, Scotty picks, and there goes your exacta. So we're, in that case, or maybe I'm overanalyzing that. So, and there's a lot of cases, the value in EquinEdge is that when I struggle with a race, a lot of cases I'm like, all right, that makes a lot of sense. I'm just going to use the EE picks because this was a very contentious race. And sometimes you spend too much time on it trying to be a wise guy. And you had the better price on top too, 6 to 1. I was kind of surprised that. I mean, you got an EE morning line of 2 to 1 on this horse, and then when you get 6 to 1, that's the time to step up and make the wager.
Insane.
No, it looks like a beautiful day down there in Florida.
I got turned off by the odds and or by the lack of betting. That's insane that horse went off at that. That really is. Shame on you bettors. Listen, one of the things we talk about as handicappers, we've been doing this our entire lives, David, this is the biggest drop in horse racing. That's a fact.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And maiden special weights down to maiden claimers. I mean, that's just a big drop. And that's all that happened there. I couldn't believe it. I thought that for sure this horse was going to go off as the big favorite, but wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little concerned about the trainer being first race back and 9%. But yeah, the biggest drop in horse racing. I learned that originally from my mentor, one of my mentors, Harvey Pack, who's, gave out a horse once. It had 3 starts, 8th, 7th, and 8th. And he said, maiden special weight, dropping into a maiden 30 claimer. I give this horse a big, big shot. The horse won like a 20 to 1. And I'm like, there you go. So it's definitely the biggest drop in horse racing.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. That's either Chris or Oldie. What's going on, guys? Wow, look at that. Let's look at this exacta. Ice cold, as Dave Weaver would say. Ice cold. Exacta.
Hey, you're doing better with that ice cold.
Cents. Hey, how about that trifecta for 50 cents? $170.15. And then how about the superfecta for 10 cents? $227.93. That's you got to bet it. I mean, of course, you got to bet it right. But
that's some serious coin. Hey, good morning, Oldie. Good afternoon, actually, Oldie.
So it's Oldie. What's going on,
It's
Oldie?
Oldie. Hello. All right.
Oldie.
Bless
I
you.
didn't get a chance to talk to Oldie about it, but I did send Oldie all the screenshots of all the new designs and everything. Oldie, what did you, if you're there, what did you think of all the new designs of HandyView and the site? Such good tools, David, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Aqueduct race number 3, so that's part of the feeder. So we'll definitely get out there. We've got, here are some of the races for. These are the races, not some of the races, but these are the 10 races that you're going to need for the qualifier. Here we go. Starts in Aqueduct race number 7 and 8, then Tampa 6, Gulfstream 7, Aqueduct 9, Tampa 7 and 8, Gulfstream Park 9, back to Tampa 9, and then finishes off in the 10th from Gulfstream Park. So,
Just also, Scotty, not to interrupt you, but I'm checking the leaderboard just after the first race. A couple of familiar names who had the 3 horse. Dave Duncan, 2-time NHC qualifier, had the $23, and another familiar name who I haven't spoken to in a long time was on a panel with last year, Marshall Graham. Marshall is a brilliant guy, and he's on the leaderboard at $23.
Nice. Okay. So Dave had that 3. Let's break this up a little bit and cover Tampa.
All right, good idea. Yeah. Because for the feeder races, in all honesty, I handicapped all of them, and I did struggle with the Tampa races, in all honesty. So yeah, to watch a race or two at Tampa might give me a better feel of the track. How it's
look, I mean, this 5 horse is very interesting. Fancy Rosebud in a race where, look here, it's 7 furlongs. Listen, horses, 7 furlongs is a very difficult distance over at Tampa because it's very fair. So whereas sometimes you can play some angles of where you need speed and things like that. I mean, 10 looks tough. Obviously, the race simulator really likes the horse, but you can just look briefly at horses and just see if they're burning money. But I will say this: look, when we talked about this just a few minutes ago, David, Playmaker, the filly, got a 3rd by 4.5 lengths last time out, but she was only 5% to win. The time before that, 6% to win. So now look at, she's dropping from a 36 SOR, and even though it's a 10,000 claimer, this is why the SOR to me is the most important metric that we have, in my opinion, because. And that's saying a lot. But I have always said all 10,000 claimers, all 25,000 claimers, they're not the same. You've got droppers, you've got easier fields sometimes. And when you look at this horse goes from a 10,000 claimer going 6 furlongs last time out. And look, it's going now to a 10,000 claimer, from 5% to 30%, and from a 48 GSR to a 59. And it ran a good 3rd place finish last time out. Like, I got to imagine this 10 horse is going to be tough for small connections, but this is something that people really can't see when they look on paper. This is why the metrics are so critical, in my opinion.
Yeah, that gives you a lot of valuable information. And looking at this race, $10,000 claimer, there's a lot of spotty form here. I think I'd be tempted to give a shot if I was playing the race with the 11 or Hot Mess. Only because when it comes down to sometimes when I'm looking at a wide open race with spotty form, I'm going to lean to a trainer that I know has success there. And I'm a big Gerald Bennett fan down at Tampa. So I'd probably lean to the 11 and play a 10-11 exacta box.
Okay.
Yeah. For entertainment purposes only. Again, the horse has to improve because, but again, only 2 starts. Didn't really lift a hoof, but
So the 5 horses, the EquinEdge, excuse me, the EquinEdge long shot.
Yeah.
And it's dropping in class. Win percentage is the same, but the GSR does go up a little bit. Probably not my type of horse, but I think this is the type of horse that could end up getting 3rd or 4th. And then here comes the closer, Mia's Angel. This horse is 6-1 right now. And I know on paper it's got 2 second place finishes in a row. but it does go up in win percentage. But I really like it going up in GSR. First time here at Tampa Bay. Why not? Like, this is not a bad play. But I do think the 10 horse is the horse to beat. I think the 3 horse. Here's another interesting one: 4-1 on the EE morning line and a price play, 11%, not bad. And the 9 horse is not too far back on the race simulator. This 9 is super interesting to close, maybe into the money at 25-1. So I think the 10 is going to win, and I would probably take the 2, 3, and 9 for the exotic. So I'm going to say 10 with 2, 3, 9. That's what I'm going to call.
Yeah, the 3's off a $7,000 claimer. Yeah, I'd probably pass on that horse, but yeah, I'm going to be on 11, 10, 11. I'm going to be the shot with Bennett's horse.
All right, they're about
not solid, not a strong opinion, but for entertainment, I'd use it. The 11 somewhere.
All right, we got 3 minutes before Aqueduct. We'll watch this race at Tampa. Then we'll go to Aqueduct race number 3, and then we'll start working on the qualifiers. And then we've got 15 minutes before Gulfstream Park race number 2. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And we can show the Tampa races, correct?
We cannot, unfortunately.
Okay, that's
we
right.
actually sent them an email to the person that was in charge of doing that and never heard back from them. Disappointing, to be honest with you. I don't get it. I really don't. I really don't get it, because and I don't know this person. There could be a lot of different reasons for it or whatever. But when you have an opportunity to let people show your races as a track, don't you want that? Like, I would.
Yeah,
I want to see
people
that have a following. They're going to show my track.
I agree, especially with the smaller Florida circuit, Tampa Bay compared to Gulfstream. Yeah. So you would think that would be an interesting decision. You don't have an in with Jason Beam, I guess. So that's.
I've never met Jason before. Seems like a good guy, though.
He's a really good guy. We haven't met, but he did. I did one of his podcasts back in 2022, and really good guy. Really good guy.
Nice. All right, so your favorite is a 10 at 4-5. I'll give you my best play-by-play. Again, I like the 10 over 2-3-9 over 2-3-9 trifecta, a 10 with 2-3-9 exacta. 9 horses 22-1, 3 horses 7-1, the 2 is 10-1.
I like the 10. I like the exacta box 10-11.
You're even giving the 11 a chance to win. You're doing a box on that. Wow.
You got it, my friend. There you go.
Okay, let's see if the 11 needs to break good. It hasn't broke good in the first couple of starts, and it's got that outside post. And it just goes to show you, like we're talking about, how important the break is. So let's see what happens here as they are loaded into the gate.
They're loaded in.
Opener from Tampa Bay. Not a bad break. Not a bad break.
Not a bad break at all.
2 broke last. So the 1 broke slow, Pizzicato 43-1, the long shot. And the 5 horse who we thought would be on the lead is in second, 13-1, got bet down. Actually running very relaxed as they set a quarter of 23 flat. 10 horses wide right now. I mean, we're not surprised by that. Kind of making a no, that's the 9 horse making a move we talked about. I don't even know where the 10 is.
I don't see the 10.
26-1 on 9. Here, where is the 10? Oh, there's the 10 right now in about 5th place, making a move. Your 11's making a move. No, that's the 2 horse making a move.
Yeah, the 11 was making a move, went to the inside, and it's actually running like a hot mess based on its namesake.
Yeah. Right? Now the 10 just went 8 wide.
Right.
I mean, but it does have the most momentum. And there's the 9. Come on, 10-9 would be amazing.
Actually, the 11 started to run a little bit.
The 2. Come on, 10. Come on, 10. Get up. 10-9-2. One time for the good guys. What? There we go.
Look at this.
There we go. 10-2-9.
10-2-9, and the 3 just got nipped for 4th. How about that?
Hey,
boom.
All right.
There you go, Scotty.
There we go. Well,
maybe you're going to have a lucky Friday the 13th. You're going to be the lucky guy.
Wow. Look at that. 10-2-9.
10. 2-9, and I think the 8.
No, the 8 got fourth.
Yeah, and then the third. I thought the 3 was going to get fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call, my friend.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get out to.
Is that your best Elvis
Thank you very much.
impersonation? That was pretty good. Thank you.
That wasn't bad, right?
That wasn't bad at all.
Did I
It's
miss my
better
phone?
than I think your Elvis. Thank you very much. Is a little better than your Ice Cold, your Dave Weaver impression.
Oh, come on. You know what? Listen, I've never heard, besides the original, I've never heard anybody do a better Ice Cold impersonation.
I'm probably busting your balls a little
That's
bit
okay.
there. No, I remember it was priceless when Dave is saying, no, you're saying that wrong. You got to say Ice Cold.
Ice Cold.
There you go. Much better. There you go.
Thank you very much. I had a little scratchy voice. I've got an excuse. All right. We've got Aqueduct race number 3. Thank you, Ricky. We've got race number 3. I'm on the 4, Running Ray. You're on the long shot, Midnight Trouble, who's getting a better post. So good call. I so wish we could show you guys the race, but I'll give you my best Trevor Denman. And let's.
Oh, they're off. Okay.
They're off.
They're off.
5 horse lost the jockey.
That's never good.
No. It wasn't like dramatic or anything. Look at the 2 horse. It ended up going off as the favorite. That's the one I had a negative note on. Irish Exit, the 1 horse at 6-1's on the lead, dueling with the 7 Groovin. They're not really dueling, but they're neck and neck. Whereas Running Ray's running really good on the outside, David. And you talked about that horse getting first run. We saw that racing.
Perfect. Make it the perfect trip here.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised the 2 didn't get the lead. There's got to be a contentious pace because Running Ray actually
23 and 4 is not.
I think you're going to get.
Yeah. No, the 2's on the inside, and he looks to have horse on the 2.
Yeah, but may have traffic problems. The 3, my horse, the 3 is moving up alongside there.
Yeah,
and
the jockey on the 4 horse just looked underneath him, and the 2 has horse, but the 3 is pressing on the outside, hurting him a little bit. We'll see. This race looks to be between the 4, 2, and 3. And the 4 gets first run like we talked about and moving nicely. Going to be very tough to catch this 4 horse on the lead.
Yes.
There's the 2 horse going to end up being second. But
and the 3,
Running Ray at 5 to 2.
Now.
And 50-1 shot Groovin is going to end up getting third. Disappointing effort from the 3.
Yeah, the 3 kind of just tired late. I thought he's wanted the distance before. And again, these horses don't stay in the same form, right? Obviously, he was in better form when he won those back-to-back mile races. But that was my second choice. Yeah, it was a very logical horse, and I thought, I would take that price better. We had our doubts about Filoki's flight, reliving those perfect trips, which he didn't get. Because this race, it was much more speed, so he was supposed to rate.
Well,
and he got 5 to 2. Yep.
Well, Ice Cold Exacto for the Scotty picks again as well. Look, top win percentage win. That was a horse to watch, by the way, too. If you've never seen that before, when you're the top win percentage, top GSR, and EE top pick, you're going to win 32% of the time for a 7% positive ROI and be in the money 68% of the time. And look, we got 5 to 2 odds on that 4 horse. I'm super happy with that.
Yes, that was a good play. Yep.
Okay.
And I think my notes did reflect that. So horse was a good, solid play.
All right. I wish I would have played in the feeder now. I'd be doing pretty good.
Yeah, actually, my two second choices of the same thing. They flipped. So I should have played 2 entries, but well,
Dave had that. So Dave had the 3 and the 4. So Dave's doing very good.
All right. Very good. So he'll be right on the lead there.
So, all right, we've got 7 minutes before race number 2 at Gulfstream Park. Why don't we do a qualifier? How about we do the 7th at Aqueduct?
Okay, 7th at Aqueduct. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So I already put in my picks in the feeder. Okay, so you're going to run the race simulator.
Yep.
And let me just pull the race up on EquinEdge. And that's the 7th, correct?
This is the 7th. This is the first leg of them. Big win percentage on Catch a Phrase, 62% win.
Yeah, the problem this race this race did change with the scratch of the three, late scratch of the three mulkey.
Yeah.
Because that's, Brad Cox is on fire. Even though the horse lost that it's has odds on both times, that horse would have added to the price. But now the 2 catchphrase is going to be an overwhelming favorite here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it looks really tough to beat, but the decision you have to make, do you want to use a prohibitive favorite who's probably going to be 4 to 5 or even money in your feeder, or maybe look for a horse that is a longer price.
Yeah.
The horse that I was trying to come up with was the 1 Good Mission. And let me see, I did have a note in there. Makes second start off a layoff and switches from turf to dirt. Second time off claim for Atras. Trainers 19% second off the claim, and only start on dirt was decent third place finish. Looks live at a decent price in weak field. Now, it's not a decent price anymore because, with the scratch, and this is spotty form in this race, I mean, he's probably going to be the second choice. So the question is, do you want the prohibitive favorite on top, or are you going to go with the second choice? Or are you going to look for a horse that has maybe some upside and is a long shot? And so that's where the dilemma is now in this race. And I think the only other horse that I would use besides the 1 or the 2 would be the 8. So let me take another quick look at the 8. Monetary Monarch. It's a low percentage trainer. But again, with these trainers, this is a weak race. It's not like... So your low percentage trainers this time of year, usually do a little better when they're not facing, the best horses and the best trainers. This is a real second time up a layoff, sloppy track in this. Now I'm talking about Monetary Monarch, but had that 3 starts and a long layoff, comes back on a sloppy track, may not have liked the sloppy track. Central Banker horses, that's one of the best New York sires that we have. And he had a decent second at 7 furlongs last November, and it was bet. So I think that's where I'm gonna change my pick from the trying to beat the 2, acknowledging the 2's the most likely winner, and the 1's probably going to be the second choice. So I'm going to go with the 8 here, second time off of layoffs, getting back to a fast track, and you probably get a decent price, maybe 6 or 8 to 1. So I'm going to go with the 8, Monetary Monarch.
If I was gonna try to beat the 2 horse, and I'm not going to try to beat the 2 horse, it would be with the 1 horse for sure. I think that the 1 horse got headed last time out, was dueling. I would take the 1 horse in this if it had a different post. I don't love the rail here. Yeah. Although it's not like the rail doesn't do good, but everything has to go perfect. You've got to break good. And this horse is okay breaker. It breaks with half the field, basically. But I just think the 2 is going to be too good. Cash praise, 62% horse. Look at that pace number. It's tremendous. Now, the reason is, look at the only other horse that has any speed whatsoever is the 1 horse.
Yes.
But it's drawn on the rail.
Right.
And it's, you know what I mean? So I think the 2 horse who's most likely to break good is going to be really tough on the cutback. Same GSR, connections are tremendous, but if you're going to take I don't know. I mean, listen, you're going to probably get 4 or 5 to 1 on the 1. You're going to get 2 to 5 most likely on the 2, or 3 to 5. And I often say that these second-time starters that run good in their first starts always get overbet. They always get overbet. And look at this horse is still, 38% chance of losing. I'm kind of trying to talk myself into 1, as you can tell.
Yes.
But look at this horse. This horse, here's a sign to me of a horse that needs the lead, and that is this, for its best, is when it draws these outside posts and it's still dueling for the lead, instead of the jockey having confidence to just sit on the horse, David.
Yep.
For me, I don't like that. Now it draws on the rail and it's going to be sending and dueling. If anything, the best case scenario is the 1 duels with the 2, and then somebody comes from behind, like maybe the 5 horse and the 7 horse. like
Yeah,
splash.
no, I think you meant to say somebody's coming from behind. You mean the 8 horse, and that's. But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, I have an interesting stat that you may not be aware of here. If you look at the trainer of the 2, Catchphrase, Amelia Green is actually 100% trainer. How do you go with 100%? She's 1 for 1. And Amelia Green was an assistant starter for a number of years for Todd Pletcher. Went out on her own and amazingly won with her first out horse. I mean, how often does that happen? So she's trying to go 2 for 2 here. But the only thing I caution on is this horse did lose on a sloppy track at 4 to 5. And can't call it a money burner, but it does raise a red flag. But maybe much better on a dry strip. And this is a very weak field with the scratch of Brad Cox's horse. And again, the 1 horse comes off 2 turf races. And again, we discussed that earlier. The dirt race was a 30,000 maiden claimer. Ran a 3rd. And so we'll get some horses that were, really want turf, but now we're going to run on the dirt. So I agree with you. 2 is a likely winner, but I'm going to give a shot in a really, weak race, in my opinion, with the second off a layoff Monetary Monarch, who, did lose to Catchphrase by about 8 lengths. Maybe with a little improvement has a chance to improve. So I'm going to go with the 8 on top, Monetary Monarch.
Well, and one of the signs off a big layoff too is where was the horse? First of all, the horse broke from the rail and broke last, and in the stretch, the horse was only 4 lengths back, right? And showed some speed, and now cuts back in distance. So no, absolutely. Look, at the win percentage goes up on the horse, facing a little bit easier. Absolutely a fair play, no doubt about it. The 5 horse is interesting. I'm not as worried about the win percentage dropping so much, only because the 2 has taken so much of the win percentage. But this horse has burned a lot of money. It's not exactly the best breaker, but look, it's always finishing. So, that's a tough one. It has been facing easier.
Right, and mostly turf races. Out of its 12 lifetime starts, 9 of them are on turf, and the 3 dirt races look, nothing special. Kind of even races, and like I said, this is a weak maiden race, and that I'll acknowledge the 2 looks like a likely winner. But I can't resist the price, so I'm going with the 8.
All right, they're almost at the gate for race number 3 at Gulfstream Park. I'm just trying to make a determination here. What about the 7 horse calling an audible? This horse wasn't a bad race 2 back. Let's throw out the last race. By the way, against a 62 group, this horse was freaking 9-2. How is that even possible? Maybe we should be looking at the 7 horse. Gets the ball.
Yeah, now Eddie Barker's a sneaky trainer. He pops with some decent price horses. He's got 1 win at the meet. The horse is working out steady. Got 9 starts though, off a layoff, 7 back to 6. I think I prefer, in my opinion, this horse probably needs a race. I'm not thrilled with the jockey change. So yeah, I'd probably fade the horse a little bit, and I think I prefer the 8 over the 7 still.
All right, I'm gonna take the 7. I'm gonna take a chance with the 7.
All right, you're calling it audible.
Well, the 2, I always try to beat these second-time starters getting over bet, and then the horse is just, even if it does win, no one's gonna get any. You're not gonna get much mutual in that. So. All right, they're almost in the gate here. Let's go.
Okay, I'm on the 6, trying to break the ice.
Establishes the early speed from speed control and moves up to take.
Good luck, everybody.
At the inside, 3 Wolves is now 3rd. Up to the outside, Warbeat is an early 4th. Followed 5th by Select.
So I took the 7-5 favorite, Italian Symphony. I'm kind of surprised. Are you surprised that horse is getting bet so much?
Shot King Falero, who lead by almost 2. Speed control 2nd from an on.
What are the odds?
The 1 went off as a 7-5 favorite.
Really? Yeah, I'm surprised.
That's too low.
Back to Selecto, and Italian Symphony is last.
Yeah, 7-5. I see that there. Yeah, I thought Warbeat would be the 7-5 favorite.
It's not crawling either. King Falero on top by a length and a half. Speed control under a nice rain for Myrat Ortiz Jr. in 2nd, followed by the team of Warbeat and 3 Wolves, who's nearest the
24
inside.
seconds
And
flat.
starting out of last
That's
is
fair.
Italian Symphony, and now
It's
the
a,
trailer is
maybe a
Selecto.
little fast for these.
Make their way past the half at 48-1, and they swing that.
Yeah,
horn.
seems like a
maintaining
fair
that.
pace.
King Falero's lead
Yeah.
is only a neck as Speed Control goes on the offensive to now challenge for control. Back to third, it's Warbeat at the rail, 3 Wolves. Italian Symphony.
Yeah,
working
one. Look at the
overtime,
jockey's
making
already all
no
out on the
headway at
one.
all. Outside of him is Selecto as they race for home. At this
5
point,
is moving
Speed
easy at
Control
3 to
appears
1.
to have
Speed
things
Control.
well in hand. He has
Here
the lead
comes
now
your
by a
6
length and a half
horse.
over
One's
a scrubbed on Warbeat into second. 3 Wolves is just going up
at
and
best
down.
minor
King
placings.
Falero throws up the white flag. Speed Control has to hold off Warbeat. That's the matchup with an 1/8 of a mile to go.
There's your 6
Warbeat
horse.
starts to get serious.
Running
Speed
very good,
Control
trying
tries to
ears
buckle
prick
down.
right now.
Speed
5
Control
horses
just
not
in
changing
front.
lead.
Warbeat
6 is
punching
going to
at
get
him
it,
on the
David.
outside.
Nice call.
Warbeat is getting up. Warbeat in top
Okay,
of the to win
broke the
away.
ice.
Speed
What do we
Control
get?
second
95?
place,
2 to 1?
five
Yeah,
minutes, 3 Wolves third.
that's 2 straight races for Tyler.
Mm-hmm. And so we got 2 to 1. Actually, 2 to 1 seems to be my go-to. I've got 3 winners at 2 to 1. So maybe I'm looking a little too much on the price end here. So broke the ice in the feeder. So feels good. Maybe you got an outside chance to sneak in here.
Good. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next qualifier.
Okay, that would be the Big A, race 8.
Race 8, the Big A. I'm going to run the race here.
Yeah, this is an interesting race. We have a couple of familiar faces in my handicapping experience in the NYRA circuit. They feel these are my old friends. I actually dream about some of these horses at night. That's how sick I am with this NYRA circuit. And I will tell you this, just for disclosure, I have had success with a couple of horses here. And, I usually have loyalty, and one of them is Air Show. And I've had some nice, solid winners with Air Show and some nice scores. I've had success with Gemography. These are my old buddies. And back in the day with Jake Rocks and also Always Charming. Uncle George is kind of a newcomer, but I haven't played Uncle George before. So,
I had an Uncle George. He's since passed years ago. My mother's brother, and he was my favorite uncle. And maybe there's a hunch there. It's the first time I'm looking at this race. I haven't handicapped it, but there seems to be, when I look at the race simulator, you've got the 1, 2, 5, and 6, and then there's a break back, and then the 3's got a low win percentage, and then so we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of the 4. 8's low. I think if you're looking for some prices, maybe the 7 or the 9, but it looks like the race might be between the 1, 2, 5, and 6. Where are you headed here?
You threw out one of my old friends, Scotty. I'm kind of offended. You discarded him like you would a piece of trash. And he deserves a little more respect than that. And I know this seems like an unusual play, and the horse is off form and all that nonsense, blah, blah, blah. But just hear me out. And again, I didn't do well in tournaments by not taking chances that other handicappers wouldn't play this horse. And we know I have a background with Air Show. Air Show, I think, is rounding back into form, and I will use him on my second ticket. I may have 2 tickets going into the feeder, but there does seem to be a lot of speed here, and so you've got a potential of a little bit of a duel. And I will tell you this, the horse that I don't really like is the 6 Banyan Breeze, shipping down from Finger Lakes off a win in the mud. The only try at Saratoga in the New York circuit, he was overmatched. 0 for 3 at Aqueduct. I'm not familiar with the jockey. It's a horse that, even though it's a top EE pick, has a chance. I wouldn't leave out totally, but I would fade because I'm looking for a price. And let's get right to it. The horse that I am trying to make here is the 3 who you threw out, Always Charming. I know a low win percentage, and comes back from a long layoff where it showed speed at 22 to 1 and packed it in. And Jake's Rocks was in that race. Second race back was bet down to 9 to 1, had some interest, showed speed again and packed it in. However, this horse is a speed horse. When this horse can get a clear lead in other races, can get brave, and also can stalk. If you look back, this horse had success from April 1st to June, even July, at a higher against Mariachi, who would be 1-5 in this field. Had won 2 races in a row over the track, one on a muddy track, one at 6, one at 7, 6.5, 7. May have nice solid second at 7. I'm looking at back form. I'm looking at third race off a layoff. I'm looking at a tricky trainer, Bob Closaris, 2 for 10 over the track, 2 wins, 2 for 8 at the distance. So hook me up. Ruben Silvera takes the mount, jockey upgrade, and lock me in at 15, 18 to 1. I'm on always charming.
Listen, look how optimistic you are. 15, 18
Yes.
to 1. You mean like 30 or 40 to 1. Like, chuck him out. Like, this horse is 1 race away from being retired. Okay.
And you may be right. Again, the reason for the layoff may be an injury. Obviously not in the same form. But sometimes these horses, after they start rounding into form, I want it before people realize this horse is rounding into form. This horse runs bang up second at 22 to 1. You know it's going to be 5 to 1 next time out. So I'll take the 22 to 1 today and take my shot with it.
All right. 22, 15. Do I hear 25?
All right. I'll have a few dollars on it. So I'm going to say 18 to 1. All right.
Okay, fine. Fair
All right.
enough.
So who do you like?
Listen, I like to bust your chops. You know that. And I wouldn't play this horse with your money. That being said, you throw these things in here and they freaking win sometimes. So it blows me away. But for those of you that are new and just watching, listen, it's all in love. And we love to talk shit for sure. Well, I do anyways. David's always he's too nice, but once in a while I'll throw in some shots at David.
Tell that to my wife. She thinks I'm playing a part.
Okay, I will. Honestly, I don't have a strong opinion in here. I looked at this race for about 5 minutes earlier, and I really don't. But you know what I am going to do? Only because you're talking. I feel like you're being unloyal to Air Show. You had so many positive things to say about Air Show, and now you're going away with Always Charming. And I think because of that, the EquinEdge long shot and price play and 22% to win, like with the kind of odds projected, probably 6 to 1, 5 to 1. I'm like, okay, forget about it. I'm gonna have to go with Air Show. So that's just a hunch. I don't. Okay. For those of you who don't play the 5, because like I handicapped my ass off on this because I didn't, but it's one of the ones.
I can add to the 5. I'll tell you what. I am very familiar with Rudy Rodriguez's barn, and their MO is, if you look at the horse's past performances, and this goes along with most of Rudy's horses. Off layoffs, it takes him a while. It takes these horses a while to round into form. If you look at this horse back form from April with a short layoff till July, turf race, the horse doesn't belong on turf, and then a 25 claimer, the horse didn't fire. Then it suddenly improved, third race off a layoff at 16, going down to the proper level with a 5th, then a second at 12.5. Now it's in form. A win at 7 to 1 at 20, another win at 20,000 claimer at 4 to 1, and then a nice 4th at a higher level. So, I think this horse could be rounding in form. To me, it's a strong play. Also, if I have 2 tickets, I'll have the 5 firmly on the other ticket.
Let's see the second. Do you know anything about this Panajo jockey, Jorge Panajo?
Which horse?
The 7 horse. The 7.
No,
I don't love the post personally. It doesn't look like the horse is fast enough. It's going to be about a length and a quarter back, but it looks like 4 other horses are faster. The race simulator doesn't have that horse stopping, so I can't say it can't. But when you look at its style, I mean, it's shown it can rate a little bit, but it just doesn't seem to be in great form. You know, this is just a wide open race.
Yes, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't like the jockey change from Silvera over to Panejo, and Silvera goes to the 3, Always Charming. So that tells me a little bit, but And again, I will repeat that Rudy Rodriguez normally takes a few races to get his horses back into form off a layoff. But there's another horse I've had success with. It actually, I got a pick 5 with him in the last race back last winter. So, and it was nice. So it's went wire to wire at like 8-1. So yeah, now I got 3 victims: Gemography, Always Charming, and Air Show. So there's my triple. There you go.
So we've got race number 4 coming up here. You've got the 2-horse Ignite the Light at 12-1 right now. Right? Remind us again why you liked this 3-year-old gelding.
A lot of changes. First time gelding, Lasix on, and also lost by length in a quarter or length and a half to Sierra Leone.
Okay. Well, and there's been 3 straight. Listen, you're right. Like, and it's in his second start, he ran a nice 3rd place finish by length and a half. But obviously, the horse has its issues because he's had 3 straight layoff lines, and they're still trying in the maiden special weight group. The workouts look well. I mean, look at it. October 30th, the horse did have a bullet. You know, maybe that's a positive sign. As I mean, you never know. I would have liked to see a 5/8 drill here, and maybe they galloped out and the horse galloped out and they went 5/8, but just officially there were 4 furlongs. That's a thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, so that's a possibility. But after layoff and the layoff lines and stuff, I would have preferred to see an official longer work personally, but going to save ground from the inside. But the 5 horses dead on the board at 9-2 from a 3-2 EE morning line. We're not surprised that Exploration's taking all the money here. Right,
yeah.
Right. We're not surprised by that.
Not surprised at all. Yeah, it's a horse that looks tough here. Outside post, but based, and again, until a horse is actually, and did fail twice as the favorite, but this is a very well-bred horse, a Curlin, and this horse was at the Keeneland September sale. It looks like it's $900K. So there we go. But again, failed twice as a favorite. Maybe that brings into question this horse's, ability to win.
Well, we did talk about this. Look at the race simulator projection. That the horse could be out on the outside, all those other horses, and end up wide, and that might be really tough. Like, this horse is getting overbet for my liking, and I think right now, because the 8 horse, a lot of times you have to look at why a horse is not dead on the board. I wouldn't say the 5 is dead on the board, but one of the things you have to look at is, why is the horse getting 5-1 right now? And that's strictly because the 8's getting so much play. So from that perspective, if you don't like the 8, and you're right about that, you're getting great odds on a horse you like. So for that reason, I mean, I'm still on this 5 horse, the Stroncino.
Yeah, I'm surprised. If I was going to hedge a guess, I would think this 5 is going to go down before post time to about 3-1. But at 9-2, yeah, I might even jump on that. And the entry's taking some money. It was a couple of entries.
I didn't love the entry. Did you love the entry?
No. I've got my questions about this entry. Always Be Smart. I've played before. Dark Devil is maybe a little cheap for these. They have an outside chance, but not for me. I'd rather go with a longer price with the 2.
I mean, if I was gonna, you're getting 5-1 on Dark Devil, the 1, 4 seconds and 1 third place finish. It's just its style. Its style is to be on the lead, and it's gonna have the lead. In fact, that's it will have the lead.
Oh, it should have the lead. Yes.
Actually, and with the 8 horse being on the outside and not having any early speed, maybe that sets it up for the 1. I don't know, maybe. I mean, the 1A is finishing. Maybe we shouldn't be so hard on these 2 horses, but they're at the gate now. Let me tell you who looks good. The 8 looked really good. The 1A looks fine. It's one thing looking at a horse and going, it looks good. And then sometimes you can see that. But it's another thing, David. I think you're more looking for a horse that just as obviously doesn't look good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Washy or fractious or, you're turning its head. Yeah. Actually, looking at the post parade and watching these horses go to the gate, the 8 does look like a nice animal. I mean,
It does, but again, it could be 4 or 5 lengths back at the beginning of the race and be wide. So, so no matter what, whether the horse wins or not, that horse in my mind is getting overbet, and you have to take that the best value in the race is the 1 and the 5.
I think the best value in the race is the 2.
Well, I mean,
I'm biased.
No, I know, but on paper, no.
Yes. Okay. So the 5 is down to 7-2. I believe it may go even a little lower. We will see. All right, they are loading in the gate. We got a great horse.
I'll tell you what, the one horse who's gonna most likely have the lead looked pretty darn good. Here we go, all set.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
Your 2 broke very, very well. And by the way, the 8 broke beautifully. But it did break good. I'm not hating it. It broke very well. It could be 5 or 6 lengths back, and now it is 4 or 5 lengths back, David. But I still think it's okay. It broke well out of the gate, and that's really important. But look at your 2 horse. What's going on here? Didn't expect that.
We'll see. It's a long race. Clearly, the strategy was to gun and try to wire him, but we'll see how that works out.
I'll tell you who's running the best for my liking right now is the 1A seems to be moving really, really well. 5 is toast. 8's struggling.
The 7 is moving in really nicely.
Beautifully. Here comes the 5 now. Okay, so the 5's got a little bit more
life. The 2's got something left, my friend. The 2's got something left.
Come on, 2.
Come on with this 2. Set her down. Set him down.
5's moving the best right now, for sure. It's going to be the 5 horse, I think, over your 2, David. Your 2 ran huge. What an amazing call that is.
Hang on for a second. Battle back. Battle back. All right, we'll take it. Had a
5 to 8. So look at hey, that's the exacta box we gave out, which is great. 7-2 on the 5. Listen, I'm just going to say this. I know it's easy to say after the fact, but we did call our shot on the 8 horse. Like when you have a horse that doesn't have any speed, and that horse broke perfectly. If the horse even breaks slow, then it loses by 6 or 7. But it's just when you have run the race simulator like this, you see an outside post and you see that, play against that horse.
Right. And the thing is, too, the 2, I didn't expect the 2 to be in a lead, but it turned out to be the right strategy. This horse ran a bang-up race, and at 16-1, I'm probably getting more of the place price on the 2 is probably just going to be a little more than the win place combo, possibly.
Look at this. We're getting 7-2 on a horse that was 3-2 EE morning line, and the second top win percentage in top EquinEdge pick. Incredible.
And the 1A ran 3rd. Right.
And the
8's off the board, right? And we did say the 8 lost twice. Now the 8 lost 3 times as the prohibitive favorite. So,
yeah.
Right.
You know, outside post. It broke good though. The breaking was not an issue, but that post is an issue. So that's great. Great stuff so far this morning.
Yeah.
I'm not betting. I wish I was. I'd be doing very, very well. All right, we've got race 3 at Gulfstream Park coming up. We've already handicapped race 7 and 8 over at Aqueduct. So you ended up taking the 3 horse, and I ended up taking the 5 air show.
Yeah. An air show, you know, if I have 2 tickets, definitely air show will be on top. I will have a wager, some kind of wager on air show too. But yeah, I'm taking a shot in the contest with the 3. Always charming.
All right, Tampa Bay race number 6 is a 62.5, 6,250 claimer over at Tampa Bay. This is the 3rd event in the qualifier. Let's run the race.
All right, let me go to Tampa. Race 3. And this is a race I struggle with, so we need some help here. Race 6. Got a 62.5 claimer. Those mares 3 and up. And a wide open, contentious, inscrutable race, in my humble opinion.
So, all right, let's look at one horse at a time real quick. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go from the SOR, win, and GSR of the last few races, look at the trouble line, and then look in a rough race. This is the way I like to do it. So
yeah, let's do it.
So this horse was the big favorite, 2 back against a 48 group at 45% and a 52 GSR. Now the one horse has got a 34 GSR. I mean, only 4 wins in 32 races, facing similar. Win percentage goes up a little bit, but I can't take a horse with a 35. I don't care. I just no way. Even though these aren't like really high GSRs, I have to play against the one. So, and which tells me, look at the race simulator. So many horses are so close. So we're going to have to find a different angle other than just the race simulator in this case. The 2 horses, 5-2 E morning line. Now, so here, let's see here, closed for show, off the pace, faced a little bit harder, but it wasn't really meant to run. Last time it only lost by a length and a half, David. Now it's 24% with the same GSR. So you're supposed to expect that this horse is going to improve for Bennett. You were talking about Bennett and you were a fan of his, but I think the 2 horses a player. What do you think of the 2?
Let me take another look at that too. Yeah, I thought it was a player, but let me see what my notes are on this. And like I said, in all honesty, I struggled with this race big time. Now, this horse does drop down second off a layoff from an 8,000 claimer, right, to a 62.5. Got the trainer I like, Gerald Bennett, 15% at the current meet. Yeah, it would fit here. And I like it's got a race over the track, but it did lose to Angela's Party Girl, who was in this race. But second race off a layoff, may be able to reverse the tables. Yeah, it's a playable horse. Yeah.
No, but, you know, in a race like this, we're supposed to take a price, and I'll show you why. Look, when a horse like the 4 horse, look at this horse on paper. And then when you look at the race simulator, it's a double blue. It's the only double blue in the race. Mm-hmm. So if you look at some of the races too, I love watching for these blue arrows because they're showing the horses that are closing the best in a race where so many of these horses might be stopping. But we do have to look at the 9 because the 9 looks like it's going to have a pretty good lead. And it shows some of the horses catching up with this horse. But last time out, it didn't run a bad race. It's a higher win percentage. It didn't get the lead last time out. And if you look at the last couple of times it did get the lead, it did win. Mm-hmm. Tough call on this one, but I mean, it's certainly a player.
Yeah, off that last race, certainly a player. We've got, morning line odds of 3-1. Just seems to fire almost every time out, with the exception of the Charlestown race for 5 claimer. Again, these are low-level claimers. And I looked at Cupid's Dream on the outside. That severe outside post, the horse moves from turf. It's probably not a horse I can use. I like picking up Centeno, though, second time. This is a dirt race, not a turf race. That's the problem. I also looked at the 3, Drills Valentine.
Yeah.
Off a long layoff, was in bad form off a bad race in September. On the synthetics, though, at Gulfstream, maybe just did not care for it. And had been racing mostly in the 5,000, 6,250 claimer. So that 12.5 and then 10,000 level may have been a little too aggressive for that horse. Off a layoff, comes back at Gulfstream at 7 and a nice solid second. The problem is stretching out to the distance where the horse has never won. This looks like more like a sprinter, but has a couple of solid thirds at Tampa at this distance. The horse I may consider. Do you look at the 3 at all?
I think they all look tough. Like Angela's Party Girl. So look at this horse. The jockey trainer combination of Marin and Simone are 0 for 16, but the win percentage is 31%. And the thing is like the win percentage is already calculating that over 16. This race is god awfully tough.
Yeah.
You know, and I would definitely have to look for a price. Cloud Storage, the 2 horse, is going to go off at fair odds. What I do like, I will say, what I do like about the 2 horse is when a horse runs good at the same level and the same distance and surface. You know, I like that this horse. If you look at what the 2 horse did, Cloud Storage, it was racing on the synthetic the entire time. And, you know, then all of a sudden goes in the dirt. These horses often don't run good when they go to a different surface. Second time on that surface, God, I hate to take a favorite like that, but this, I don't really like anybody else. I'm going to take the 2.
Yeah, I'm tempted to take the 2 along with you, Scotty. But maybe I'm looking at, you know, the 1, we talked about the 1, raced in that same race, finished a decent 4th off a layoff, but so the 2 did beat him. Now draws the rail. Melissa Liorio picks up the mount. And I'm probably going to settle on the 3 or the 4 as prices. And I think, you know, the 4 was in that race also on November 23rd and lost to Angela's Party Girl and Cloud Storage. Had a 6th. Second race off a layoff. Was shipped from Delaware Park and Penn National. Kind of new on this circuit, picks up Ferrer. Yeah, but Centeno's off. Where Centeno goes to, who's Centeno on? That could be a factor too.
So Centeno's on the 10 horse Cupid's Dream.
Yeah, so Centeno goes there.
Yeah.
The horse that looks more like a turf, what has won, Tampa is 1 for 2. Could this horse possibly contend here? This is a really tough race, but I think I'm going to go with the 4. I'm going to settle on the 4, Viking Queen. Hope that, you know, maybe 3rd race off a layoff may improve. I mean, Centeno goes off, but Ferrer picks up the mount, who I have no problem with. Maybe a little cheap here, but yeah, give me a shot with Viking Queen, the 4. And if I had a second ticket, I'd use the 3. I'm just looking for a price here.
Okay.
So 4-3 for me.
All right. Gulfstream Park, race number 3 is coming up here. I'm on the 5, the first time starter who is getting play. Of course, we knew Bluff would be the 3 to 5 favorite, is the favorite. And we'll run this race. We've got a couple of minutes before the race. Here's a look at them. You can look at them while we'll handicap for you. So Curve, the first time starter, Safi Joseph, Saez, they had a turf drill last time out. It looked okay. The workouts look okay. Don't really see any major gaps for this horse. Pretty steadily. I find it interesting when certain trainers they're running there every 7 days, like they have a horse on a schedule. A lot of people, especially old school handicappers, really like to see that schedule. But like Kathleen O'Connell, she doesn't train Sarkis that way. She didn't train Galicia Spirit that way as well, who ended up unfortunately getting a knee injury and had to be retired. But she didn't. She trains like when the course is ready. She might train in a 7th day a pattern, but she'll usually go 9 to 10 days. And you know, her first time, I think she's like 10% with first time starters, but
Right.
But there, you know, everybody does things differently. But you can see here there is a 7-day pattern here that's very consistent.
Yes, and again, we're dealing with a maiden special weight, and again, we discussed this. The 5. Why is my computer locking up? I apologize. The 5 would be the alternative play here. I'm trying to make the first timer on the turf the 9 here, but the 8 is taking as much money as we thought. Right? I predicted 4 to 5 even money. It's even taking more, 3 to 5.
Now the 4 horse. Here's the thing about the 4, who's 7 to 1. I didn't like this one only because it had 2 synthetic, or it had a synthetic race and a dirt race, and it looks good. But I just think it's not going up in GSR. If it was going on the dirt, the GSR would go way up, 10 points higher on the tabs, David. So that's the reason why I went away from the 4. But 7 to 1 is amazing value on that Cocktail War as they're going into the gate.
Yeah, 6-1. That's because the eight's taking a little more money than we thought, so you're getting a nice price on some of the others here.
Yeah. All right, I'm on the first time starter, the 5. The 8, 4 to 5 favorite right now. Your third choice is the 4 horse at 6-1, who's going on the turf for the first time. 5 looks very nice on the track, the first time starter.
And I'm on the 9, first timer on the turf. Gianluca Be Lucky with David Egan.
There's your 70-1 shot. That's the 6 horse. It's kind of a cloudy day here in Florida today. I'm looking outside and it's there's
overcast.
Yeah, it's overcast here.
Yeah, cooling off a bit, 70s,
yeah,
60s.
It's cooling off. Let's see, what time is it right now? Or what is the weather? Let's see. The weather right now is 76.
All right. You're about 50 degrees warmer than we are. I think we're 26. Well, enjoy, my friend. Well, I'll be down there. Yeah, you'll see me in that. Anybody who's down at Gulfstream, you'll see me in that paddock, looking up some sun. All right. Good luck, everybody.
So the first time starter did not break well, the 5, but either did the favorite. The favorite broke a little bit slow, and the 4 horse ended up getting the lead. And that
might be an easy lead.
Could be a big factor. Ended up getting Cocktail War, gets off at 5-1, first time on the turf. Kind of running with its head up. It's not looking exactly comfortable on that turf. You can kind of see it. For me, it's not really running that comfortable on the turf. And look at it's like, yeah, it's on the lead in 23 and 4, but
23 and 4 for the opening quarter, less than 5 furlongs to go.
It's got the talent to go all the way. There's no question, but it certainly doesn't look that comfortable.
Black Cap of race favorite Bluff is racing into 3rd, passing Money Tour, who's back to 4th. At the rail, that's Venezuelan Hope racing together with Gianluca Be Lucky, and Curved is at the back. It went 47 and 4 for the opening half mile.
Pretty fast.
Around the 4 turn.
It is.
Cocktail War has the lead. Bluff now starts to play.
Here comes the 8.
And here comes Bluff with a nice trip up to the leader's neck of a length and a half in front of Gianluca Be Lucky.
Here's your 9, who's running pretty good.
3/4, 112.
8's got the measure of the 4 for sure. And then here comes your 9.
Yeah, the line's a little wide and it's kind of flattening out a bit. Make it second. All right, get up for second with this 9.
They come home for the wire. It's Bluff in front. Cocktail War
get up.
Second.
No, he's not getting up.
No.
That's going to hurt me in the feeder. Could have used that price, but he ran a decent race, no problem.
Yep. 8-4. So the picks had it again. 8-4-9. 9 ran good.
It ran good. It kind of seemed like he was going to go right past and maybe flattened out a little bit. But first time on turf, then maybe he has a future improvement coming in the next turf race.
Yep. Watch for dirt. Watch for dirt. The 4 horse ran really good.
Yeah. All right. So let me just pop up this. So we got 8 minutes to the big A. And we got where Heavenly Light is 6-5. That we thought. Second choice is Luck for You, who I don't like. And my horse that I took a shot with. You're on vague at 10-1, and Aerialist is 21-1. Hey-oo. Okay.
Okay. So Oldie is putting notes at Oakland Park. Let's see if there's any notes. So horse appears to lack early speed. So only 7%. So he's got a negative comment on the 1. Horse wins less than 10% of the time. So he's not liking the 3. 5 horse, when the GSR has no matches, only wins less than 10% of the time. So he's not liking the 5. So he thinks the 6 horse family tradition is very live. There's a positive work here on this horse, on the 7 horse, the top EquinEdge pick. So the horse is facing much, much easier, but it maybe needs the lead. Oldie puts a lot of notes on horses.
He puts, wow, yeah.
So He's liking, it looks like he's liking the 7 and the 6, but he likes the EquinEdge long shot a lot. The problem here with the 7 horse, and I can see what he's saying, it looks like this horse needs the lead, and there's pace pressure from the 3, who looks to be the fastest, and the 9. So if that happens, who's going to pick them up? The 1 on the rail, Life is Hard, looks pretty good, but the horse has burned a lot of money. And his take was, horse appears to lack early speed, but there is speed in there.
Yeah, and the trainer on the 1 is only 7% off a layoff, so
yeah,
but, he's taking money.
It is. I mean, the race simulator likes the horse. The 5 horse Arrogate Spirit.
Arrogate Spirit comes down, ships from Churchill Downs. Keeneland never raced at Oakland.
You know, what a tough race. You know, usually in a situation like that, I'll usually take the favorite. But the 7's going to send. And then if you're looking for a closer, God, I mean, there's a few of them that are closing. You know, a lot of times I'll sort the SOR. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, it looks like the 9 or the 1 will be closing. So I would probably take one of those horses.
Yeah, I know. Again, off the layoff, it's not a good, with the 1, it's not a good percentage that you can have a lot of confidence in, and Oldie doesn't like it. And I totally respect Oldie's handicapping, but yeah, the way the race sets up, I think I would look for a closer. And even though we got a low percentage trainer off the layoff, I think I would probably use the 1 here, a little reluctantly.
So let's see what happens here early, because that's going to define everything. Let's see if the 7 gets a good break. Which horse is going to break good and get that lead early? The 7's going to need it. Broke good.
Actually, the 1 broke.
Yeah, but so the 1 broke good, the 3 broke good, and the 9. The 3 got the lead like we thought it would.
Yeah.
Let's see what this first quarter is. So right now the 3's on the lead. The 1 broke perfectly sitting on the rail. Might even be too close to a fast pace though.
Yeah, didn't expect it to be that close.
And the 9 broke very well. I know the jockey's trying to rate the 7 right now, and I'm going to take a look to see if he's able to do it. I will say he does seem to be rating kindly.
All right, the 1 took back, and Robert's now going to try to make 1 run.
That's never a positive, though. You're a length off the lead at the first call. Next thing you know, you're 6 lengths off the lead. You're getting shuffled back. That's just never a good sign.
Actually, it's not overly contentious. We've got a half of 49.
Yeah, they really slowed down for the half, 49 and 1.
Yeah, I think the 1's sitting a perfect trip here, Scotty.
All right, the 1 is all out. 7's all out. Here comes the 9. Patrick said the 9 looked good on the track. He's certainly looking good right now in this race.
Yeah, you're right. The 1 is all out. He's under there.
Yeah, this is between the 7 and the 9.
Yeah.
7's run best. Maybe third for the 5 on the rail, but yeah, it's going to be 7, 9, 5, 6. Yeah, so the big favorites didn't end up. Listen, you know, it kind of looked like that, right? Even though it looked like the 7 was going to be dealing with all sorts of pace pressure, that's exactly what happened. Oldie nailed that race. It came in 7, 9.
Yeah, they got the, as Oldie likes to refer to it, we got the 1-to-1 shot to win the race.
Yep.
Good going.
Okay. So what ended up, what did it end up being on the feeder? How did you do on the feeder? Did Dave do good in the feeder? What happened?
Well, we got one more race. Right now, we've got a leader, Jason Albano, at $51.70. Jeff Van Drie has, let's see, any familiar names? Right now, Marshall Graham's in 13th, looking good. First 34 get in, and I am currently ranked 49. But I have a 20-to-1 shot in the next race, so I have the 4 horse, and that should get me in. So sometimes it's nice to have a long shot in the last leg, right? Because at least it gives you a shot to save a couple of dollars. So right now I have $23, and I need to get to the amount of $28.70, 34th. I'm liking my chances.
Even so here's the horse, the 2 horse Heavenly Light, who's your big favorite, who I have a note on 2 back, not all that.
Yes, you recall that. Yeah.
You know, and it's burned a lot of money. It's 31% to win. The GSR is good at 68. It's in fact tops of the field. Veg is 26%, but it's dead on the board right now at 6-1. Yeah, I could see where the connections are low. It does get the bug, 114 pounds. It did get second last time out by 12 lengths, but on paper, the horse doesn't look that great. But when you run the race simulator, I mean, the 3's, right there.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
The 2, even though I don't think the 2's that much, this is not a strong field, David.
No, definitely not. I'm just putting something in here. Just bear with me a second.
The 6 is lost. Linda's Jewel has lost ground in every race, David.
Yes.
What about the 7 horse Luck for you? It's 7-2 right now. 8-1 EE morning line. It's got a big drop, but it ran a good race before it went on the shelf at Saratoga last time out. For the same connections, if you run like that, a nice second place finish over at Saratoga on the turf, you got to have some sort of talent. Now coming off the layoff, maybe we shouldn't be overlooking this 2-year-old filly. I don't know. What do you think?
The 7 horse?
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice effort at Saratoga. These have got to be much easier than what was there.
Let me take another look, because at first glance I just threw the horse out for some reason. Yeah, we got a low percentage low percentage trainer, but it's been in a maiden special weight open company and in a restricted race, and showed some good speed, improved speed, stretching out. Now is cutting back to a mile on the dirt. Yeah, maybe in retrospect, I was too quick to toss this horse.
Right.
Even though, didn't really lift a hoof at all on the dirt. That's why I tossed it. Maybe better on the turf.
Actually, that's actually a really good point I just missed. You're right. It went up 21 points that day. It's going to do better on turf. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you. Yeah. That for me, it's a throwout because of that reason.
Yeah. And watch the horse win by 10 lengths. So yeah, that's horse racing. But yeah, that's the reason I threw it out. Yeah.
Dave makes a good point here on the 6 horse. The 6 horse is finally getting a fast track. And look at that race 2 back was not a bad race at all. And this looks like an easier group. Is the 6 going to get an easy lead? Let's take a look. Yeah, 6 is going to have an easy lead, and you're getting 6-1 right now on this on Linda's Jewel. What do you think?
Yeah, this horse was turf meant, right? That first race was rained off the turf, finished the 3rd, but again, it's with a bump start, so had an excuse. And on the turf again, going 5.5 from an outside post. Ran a really good race and just kind of tired late. And then sloppy track, back to dirt, and maiden 50. Again, you may not have liked the slot. Got slopped twice. Yeah, on the fast track, you got the excuse. Trouble line there, but in 2 turf races, the horse did. I'm sorry, 2 sloppy races, the horse maybe prefer a dirt track. Dry track.
Dry track.
Yeah, got a shot. I can see Dave's point. Absolutely. But I'm going for the McGilla here with a big price. The 4.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, yeah, baby. Bring him home.
All right, they're at the gate, about to load into the gate. There's the 2 horse going into the gate. That's Heavenly Light. That's your 3 to 5 favorite. Again, this is an easier group, but I had a note that said the horse is not all that. I must have had a lot of money on the horse, David, and it burned me.
I'll take a 3-4 exacta, and that may put me 3-4 exacta will do me well. 1-2 over 28-1. Good luck, everybody. They're loading in. The 6 is going in the gate, looking good. Maybe Dave's on the right path there. 7's balking a little bit. It's a little reluctant.
I'm going to wait for turf. 4-1 is too low on that horse.
On a 7?
On the
Yeah.
7. Yeah, it's
I agree with you.
low. $70,000 purse for these 2-year-olds. They're going a mile on the dirt. This is a 1-turn mile.
Correct, at the Big A, yes. And they're loading the 9 in. She's in, and they're off. Good luck, everybody.
So 3 broke very slow, last, and is about 7 lengths back already. Linda's Jewel, but the 4-horse aerialist, your horse, decided to go. Wow.
It worked pretty well for the 2 in the last race who held on for second. I wouldn't mind the same result there.
That would be phenomenal. Come on, 1 time for this 4. 34-1.
Just slow it down. Slow her down. Nice and easy.
48-3. Come on.
How about 49?
That
I think this list looks like a stop and pop to me, to be honest with you.
47-4, so that's pretty fast. Yeah, 4 horses.
Yeah, I think that's this horse just went out and stopped and is going to pop and it's going to stop.
7 is absolutely loaded. Not even asked.
Well, it gave me a little thrill.
Yep, it did.
Yeah, like I said, the 2 seemed like a likely winner at a really short price.
There's the 2 on the rail, moving easily. And now you're talking Linda's Jewel and Heavenly Light. 7 is moving. 9's not doing enough, but the 2 horses, the big favorite's going to win.
The 6 is under the whip, right?
Yeah.
No chance to go by.
Disappointing effort from the 3, who's in 5th right now. 6 ran good though.
Yeah, likely winner. Yeah. So again, you reach out for trying to get a second at a huge price, which worked for me the race before. But yeah, logical winner. I did play a pick 6 and I used a 2 in the 4. I usually only went too deep there.
How about the ice cold exacta again with the picks 2-6?
Ice cold.
You sound like an opera singer.
I know. I will tell you this: my vocal cords aren't the greatest. I'm singing in the shower. I've broken a couple of light bulbs popped.
So okay, look, let's look at the first 5 races over at Aqueduct. Came in 8-2, so the EquinEdge top pick over the EquinEdge long shot. In the next race, the 6-horse won. Principe de Oro, the second pick. In race number 3, it came in 4-2 cold. Hit that. Next race, the 5-horse won, top pick, and then now came in 2-6 cold. So looks like Aqueduct's on fire, David.
Yes, yeah, we're doing good.
So David, we're gonna okay, the 4th leg of the qualifiers is GP7. I'm gonna put it on there and let you do your thing real quick, and then I'll be just back in 2 minutes, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
Let me just pull it. So Gulfstream 7, we're going to
Gulfstream
now,
7. Let me know when you're ready.
Right. Okay, let me just go. Hold on 1 second. Okay, ready to go.
Okay,
so
here
we
we go.
got Gulfstream race 7. Okay, I have it up. And let's get the race simulator going. All right, so Gulfstream race 7. We got the simulator. We got an $8,000 non-wins at 2 lifetime for fillies and mares, 3 and up. And West Bank looks like the horse as the favorite here, but doesn't have the long the speed. The speeds should be the 3 and the 7. We're going at it, and let's see who gets up. It is the 6, West Bank, who is the morning line favorite on the program, 7-5. EE morning line 6-5. The horse is going to be really tough here, but looking around for a possible alternative, it does seem like if either the 3 or the 7 can avoid a speed duel, there's an outside chance, in my opinion, that one of these horses may be able to wire the field. But again, it seems like because they have the same pace metric, that it seems more likely that there could be a speed duel here. So if you look, taking it all, this 3rd race is now off a layoff. We're going 6.5 on the dirt. So this horse switches from a synthetic back to the dirt. Actually, we don't have any success sprinting on the dirt, but there's not a ton of speed here. And taking it all seems to be more of a 5.5 furlong sprinter, in my opinion, and may really be compromised going the 6.5 furlongs here. So I'm going to keep looking. Big Bouquet of Roses, Luca Panici. Actually, third race off a layoff had a pretty decent race. Had a nice second. So that horse is a contender. But West Bank just broke his maiden for 12.5. Irad picks up the mount. So you're going to have a horse that's overbet. So I'm probably going to look for an alternative here. And then you get the 5 dropping from an 8,000. Second time at that class. Second off a layoff for Steve Dwoskin. Has won a race over the track. Sylvia V's Heroes. And okay, so we're going to have a prohibitive favorite here, West Bank, but just breaking its maiden for 12.5, probably drops into the right spot for $8,000. But I'm thinking maybe the 5 at 9-2 is a horse that I'd be interested in here.
You know why I was looking at the 5. Why I don't like the 5 is the trainer usually fires his big shot off of a layoff. The horse was 19%, but the horse didn't improve at all off of that drop. And that's a big drop. And he's supposed to. And then second off the layoff, David, he's over 22.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to really like this 5. The 6 horse is a maiden, just broke its maiden. It's going to be the big favorite, no doubt about it. But these horses don't come back to win very often. Although it did it easily, I get it. That's why I'm going to take the EquinEdge second pick, the 4. It didn't run bad. It's not the best breaker, and I worry about that a little bit. But I think that's why the 6.5 furlongs might be good. If the horse can break good. Yeah. Panici's a really good veteran jockey. The head was turned at the start in this race, went 5 wide and still got second at this level on the drop. It makes a lot of sense to use the 4 horse and try to beat the 6. So I'm going to take Big Bouquet of Roses.
I'm tempted to follow along with you, Scotty, but my concern is this horse only has a 16 pace metric. This horse is going to be way back. And if the 3 and the 7 don't get into a speed duel here, I'm going to take one more look at the 7 on paper to see if I think I'm going to try a different angle. I'm going to try a horse trying to wire West Bank and get the jump on this, and it may be the 7 Wildcat Lunita. Does it really want to go 6? Has won at 7 on the sloppy track. I like the inside post better. I'm going to take a shot with the 3, Scotty. Third race off a layoff, mostly synthetic form. I think this horse will have the clear lead. It has to outfoot the 7. I like that Reyes stays. There's nothing wrong with Leonel Reyes. I had good success with him. I'm going to take a shot of a wire job here. Or a horse hanging in there for a long time. I'm going to take the 3, taking it all. And hopefully I'll take it all down, all the win money there. So I'm going to be the 3, taking it all. And my alternate would be number 6, West Bank.
Okay, we've got Aqueduct, race number 9 to do.
Race 9.
Let's go to Gulfstream Park, race number 4, though. Let's do that first.
Okay, who are you on here at... Who are you on at Gulfstream again?
Let me try to remember.
Oh, the 5. So no, the 4. Big Bouquet Rose, the horse who's right.
Yeah.
The Dead Stone Closer. Okay, gotcha. So you're locking in with the 4, and I'm locking in with the 3. So I've got a speed, and you've got a closer. So
yeah,
something's got to
give. A couple of good works for the 7's got a good work, and Monet Never, the 6 horse, good work. Man, this race is a wide open race, David. Did you look at this race?
I didn't have to look at it. I'm going to use a hunch play here, and I'm going to use David's song. That's all I need to know. We were talking about my vocal cords, and there's a hunch play there.
Right, that's a hunch play.
You don't want to hear me singing in the shower, and there we go. David's songs. How can you go against that? So, with that being said,
respectfully, there's no way I can use this horse unless it clears. It's just, it's not a horse that's ever passed a horse. Look at this race at the first call. Have you ever seen this? I've never seen it. Look at that line. That's the first call.
Yeah, I hear you.
That is the first time I have ever seen that. Every horse is within 3/4 of a length. Like, who's the best jockey out of the gate? Is Jaramillo in this race? Jaramillo's on the 2. Jaramillo's on the 2.
Yeah. Jaramillo's on the 2. Can't know it all.
Take the 2.
I think a masked man with Johnny V picking up the mount's got a shot closing. But all right, with that being said, I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
You know, it's not it's probably not imaginative at all, but the taking Jaramillo to get this horse out of the gate and win, especially when you're looking at some horses that have burned some money. Although I can't consider this horse a money burner, but look, it just keeps on facing better and better, and the GSR is low. It's 5% to win. It's going to be part of the pace. The 3 horse, it's a hit or miss whether this horse is going to break good. And they couldn't even get the lead going 7 furlongs on the dirt, and now it's supposed to get the lead going 5.5 on the synthetic. Speed kills. So I'm going to guess Jaramillo sending this horse as fast as possible, like out of that gate. This horse seems to need the lead. It stops when it doesn't get the lead. This horse broke its maiden against a 12-5 group. It's overmatched, and it seems to need the lead. I guess you could make a horse off the big drop in class. This horse won coming from behind. Monet Never for Irad. I can 2-6. I think Gapleon's won a couple of races so far. Looks like the horse can rate some and is dropping in class. For me, like, I like the 2-6-7. I do like an exacta box 2-6-7. Yeah, Jared, we've been killing Turfway Park. Jake's been the analyst over at Turfway, has been killing it as well. Make sure you look at some of the races for tonight over at Turfway Park and some of Jake's notes. He's got a note on this. Worked a bullet on 11-8. Looks ready to fire here. So he likes the 1 horse, Gypsy Dreaming. So you might want to look at that horse.
We're on Turfway.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of Jake's notes for tonight, and he had a note on the 1. He's got a note on this 3 horse here. Has put in 2 decent works over the surface. The 5 horse who's 15-1. He put live long shot. I tell you what, I watch when the new format comes on the handy view. It's going to be a lot easier to see these notes. It's tougher now. I get it. Just hang in there for a month, but I look at every horse right now to make sure if Jake's got a note.
Yeah, I am going to make a point to I'll be working on the notes for the Big 8 tonight, but I'm going to make a note to watch a few Turfway and play a few Turfway races based on Jake's notes.
Yeah, he gets some prices too. And some of the notes are subtle. Oldie had a good note here on the 7. Win percentage increases significantly and drops 8 points in SOR, indicating we'll be facing easier. And that's exactly what happened. And sometimes a horse doesn't need to improve. It just needs to run the same but face easier horses. It's as easy as that.
Correct. Totally agree.
So I like the 2 horse. I think Jaramillo is going to get the lead, but But I also think the race sets up for Irad. You're getting 9-2 on Irad because he looks to be on the only, like one of the only horses that actually can rate a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just putting in my other second ticket picks here. Oops. Okay, my feeder, my qualifiers are in. We're good to go. So we're looking at the fourth race at Gulfstream where I'm on a hunch play. David Song.
Outpost time. Aqueduct moving in, race 4, 2-1.
I think Masked Man at 9-1. This could be live. That's a nice price.
Even Songs forward.
The 5 horse, that is a nice price. But I mean, it broke its maiden against such an easier group. It was a 38-12-5 group, David. But we'll see. Let's see what happens here. Who gets the lead? I was hoping Jaramillo would get the lead on the 2. But the horse was not fast enough.
Out in the middle, Shibwe is now into 4th, followed 5th by David Songs. Tighten up for Racing Room as Bullet Blues. He's toward the back of the field with the trailer Monet Never. The leader is Room Saint Esprit. Room Saint Esprit and Joe Bravo to the far turn on top by half a length. Masked Man is 2nd, Shibwe 3rd. At the rail, Can't Know It All is moving closer into 4th. 2 back to David.
2 is rating pretty nicely, but that 3 horse got an easy lead.
22 and 3 for the
Come on, Jaramillo, get this 2 up.
That's fast though.
Trying to hold the lead, trying to work off his heels is Jaramillo and Can't Know It All, charging to challenge. Far outside Shibwe, 3-path Masked Man.
Come on, Jaramillo, get up.
His best stride and comes on next.
Big advantage when you get the lead. When you get the lead in a group of a bunch of horses that need the lead, pretty amazing.
Come on with this Masked Man.
Trying to go get him. Here's
Look at this
Masked Man
5.
shot at Room Saint Esprit. Room Saint Esprit.
He's not going to go by.
Yeah, he's going to go by.
But Masked Man has got him.
All right, my second trip in. Okay, got a little profit there. I'm like,
here we go. There we go.
So
nice
I'm thinking 9-1 or 7-1 now is an overlay, and I know he comes off a let's see, it comes off a 44 SOR. This one moving up to a 56, but was ready.
Well, look at Vasquez actually got off of that horse after winning and breaking its maiden for Sweezy, and then look at all of a sudden you get a nice alternate here in Johnny Velasquez, right?
Hall of Fame jock, and if push comes to shove, it's my second favorite jock of all time, next to Angel Cordero. So nothing wrong with that. Good old Johnny V scores for me at 7-1.
Let's see if we've got. Let's see, Aqueduct race number 6. So Aqueduct race number 7 is where the qualifier starts. And let's see what Oldie's got as far as notes over at Aqueduct. So broke slow from the gate in first race. Brad Cox trained horses win 30% of the time in their second career race. When the top Scotty pick and the top SOR number align, those horses win 30% of the time. So Wayne Lucas only wins 7% of the time. It's 10-1 on the EE morning line. It didn't break good first time out, but a lot of times these horses get overbet, but it is the EquinEdge second pick. So mixed feelings there. Oldie doesn't have a positive opinion on that horse. When the top win percentage has no other matches to the EE pick, the horses win less than 20% of the time. That's actually a true stat. So that's a negative comment on the 5. 7 horse in the top GSR and the top pace number line, they win 30% of the time throughout the last race. That's a nice note on an 8-1 shot, Authentic Gallop. So he's got positive notes on the 2 horse and the 7 horse at Oaklawn Park. We'll watch this and then we'll get back to the the handicap
Okay.
of the qualifiers. Let's see here.
Take a little shot with the Norm Cassidy stretch out, Tomcat Tuesday.
Which horse is that?
The 4 horse.
4, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the 2. Oldie gave a little bit of a look to the 7 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to play against that Lucas horse. It's my racehorse horse, so definitely going to be over bet. All right. Good luck if you have any action on this race. I'm taking a shot with a nice price. I don't know. Did I get it in?
Well, look at the 6 horse. I mean, that horse thinks it's a quarter horse.
Yeah, running off.
It
Absolutely.
really requires a jockey
Wow.
in the back to just stay very patient. 22 and 4 is forget about it.
You sounded like a New Yorker there with that last
I
statement.
was waiting for it. Like it took you a long time.
Yeah, it took me a while to click in and like, did Scotty just say forget about it? Forget about it. Not for nothing, but forget about it. So heard those a lot of OTBs in Queens that I stopped.
Listen, the 6-5 favorite is toast, David. This 3 horse is done.
You think so?
I do.
I was chasing a fast pace.
Come on, just 2-7-7.
Maybe I can get with this pace. Maybe I can get my 4 up. Those are fast fractions. Now they're slowing it down a little bit. It looks like everybody's
9-1 on the 7. Come on, 2-7 one time. Come on, 2. Get your ass in gear.
The 7's going to go right by, Scotty.
I couldn't get the 2 up, but I got the 7 at 9-1.
The 4's flying, but much too late. Yep. 7-3 in the 7-3-2.
Oh.
Hello.
All right. Well, look at Go Oldie. Go Oldie. Look at that.
Oldie.
Go Oldie. Look at that 7 horse. Look at this. Throughout the last race, horse broke slow and then had to be steadied early. When the top GSR number and the top pace number align, the horse wins more than 30% of the time. You got 9-1 on that 7 horse. And the 3 horse, he said, trainer Lucas wins only 7% of the time when the horse is making its second career start. And when the Scotty pick and the highest win percentage align, the horse wins more than 20% of the time, which isn't all that great. So good call, Oldie.
Good call. You got Tom Amis at a decent price, 9-1. Not a decent. That was a boom price.
Yeah.
A couple of booms there. Good call.
Good stuff. All right.
Absolutely excellent.
Okay. Nice going, Oldie. Okay. Aqueduct race number 9.
Race number 9 at the Big A. Let me just change tracks here.
I have a reliable lady, an old one, very talented, bad trip here, low GSR, but runner nonetheless is what I put for my note there. But this horse just looks okay.
The 3 horse?
Yeah. I had a note on the horse.
I had a couple notes on the horse too.
Oh, let's
see. That's the horse that I prefer here, I believe.
Wow, Scotty Longshot makes second start off layoff and showing speed and tiring to finish a solid second. Trainer is 17% in second race off the layoff. Has won at the 7 furlong distance and may be best stalking here. Let's see here. Looks like it can rate a little bit, not a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got speed with Savas Melania, who will have be on the lead. She's a Tempest. So I think, the way I look at the race shaping up, I think Mott's horse is a little dangerous, maybe slightly off the pace with Davis. But I think, I'm looking for that. That's my top pick here, the 3 Reliable Lady, at a decent price. EE Morning Line 6-1. There's 75 pace. Could set a perfect trip here, and I like it a little better. Caldwell Loves Gold is just, at the mercy of the pace. And that horse is going to be making up some ground for Cox. Brad Cox is so hot, I guess you can't leave that horse out. But, the 3 is going to be my top pick here. The little Scotty Longshot. Reliable Lady.
Is the 7 just need to be on the lead in order to win, or do you like this outside post? It looks like it's finishing, but what do you think of the 7-horse Striker has dial?
Yeah, I've used that horse before, Scotty, and I have my reservations about that horse. And let me just see if I have any other notes here that I made. And this is the 9th. I mean, the outside post, originally I was all over I had notes, and I was all over the other part of the Linda Rice entry. All Class comes out of a Keeneland prep. It was a good time at Keeneland, but that horse was scratched. So now me looking last minute for another horse. The issue I have with Striker has dial, and I guess, it looks like to me they don't know what to do with the horse. The horses are dialed in, right, and lost consecutive races on the dirt, a muddy track at Saratoga.
Okay.
At less than 2-1, at 8-5, 9-5, and then lost as a prohibitive favorite at Parks. That was, I believe, Pennsylvania Derby Day, and this horse was bet off the board in a 10-horse field. Had a 10 post, which is usually good with IRAD on, totally overbet, and failed. So now they move it to the turf. And this horse is a dialed in. I think it's better bred for. When I picture dialed ins, I don't particularly, think of turf horses. So it looks like they're reaching with this horse. Barn's a little cold. Yeah, I probably fade this horse a little bit, even though Carmouche stays. I thought there were better alternatives here. I'm looking for somebody closer of stalking the pace, and that's why.
If you want the winner, I'll give you the winner, and that's the 5 horse. Caldwell's Love Gold, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
the horse faced a 72 group and didn't run very well. Then goes in a grade 3, albeit it was an easier one. Was only 7% to win, 32-1, and got third by a length and a half against 9 other horses. Then goes in a non-graded stakes race, state bred, but it was a 72 group. The horse was only 6% to win with a 63 GSR and lost by 3 1/4 lengths. Now the GSR goes back up. The win percentage goes back up. Look at this. Manny Franco is a 13% jockey, Dave. 13%. Jockey trainer combination of Brad Cox and Manny Franco, 32%.
Yes.
32%. I'm on the 5.
The horse will be flying, it's granted, but I don't think there's enough pace. And did win the New York Oaks at Finger Lakes, going a mile and a 16th in a much, it was a good effort. But again, another horse that they're moving, stretching out, now going to turf, stretching out, now coming back to a sprint. But who am I to question Brad Cox, who's his barn is just on fire, so does have a big shot, but I think may have to make up too much Grant late. All
right, so the race number 6, it's going off here shortly. Is there anything you like in here?
The 6th race at Aqueduct, yes, I did play a pick 6. Oh yeah, I have a couple of long shots here. So I got Thank You John, the 8 horse, and I used 2 long shots, the 2 King Moon Racer and the 5 When Love Takes Over at 50-1. So thought that this race did cry out for a price.
Okay,
we'll see. You watch this race.
Yep,
since I played a pick 6.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. This is where I'm probably out after this race, but
just heads up, we're going to have to rush because we've only gone through half of them. So
yes, okay.
We've got another 5 to go through, and the 7th race at Aqueduct is where this thing starts. So we're going to have to rush through the rest.
Sure.
So we won't be able to veer off on any other tracks until we finish it off.
Sounds like a plan.
Wiz played the 7 horse. Not that that's your fault; it's my fault. So I'm producing. All right. So did you use the 1 at all?
The 1. Well, did I leave the 1 out? Yeah, I'm not big on the 1 here at all.
Okay. So you only used 3 horses, 2, 5, 8, all prices? Well, the 8's
the favorite, right? I thought the 8 was likely. That's the favorite. I'm not sure about the trainer, low percentage trainer. Yeah, I think this race cries out for a long shot. So 2, 5, 8.
Looks like the 8 to me. Look, the 8 looks super, super tough in here.
I know the trainer,
tactical speed. There's just not much in here. The one's drawing inside. Yeah, it looks awfully tough and broke well. There's your 58-1 shot on the lead right now.
That'll work for me.
That would be phenomenal.
Oh, Jesus, you kidding me?
Sugar Gray Leonard. What a great name.
Yes, isn't it?
Sure is. 9 struggling and wide. The 6 horse on the inside is struggling all out. 8 looks to have a lot of horse. The 5 is not done, though. This 5 horse wins. I'm going to give you my watch.
Okay. Nah, he's dead.
1 on the rail.
Guess I'm not getting a watch. There you go. The 8's going to go.
Looks like a 3 horse race between the. It looks like the.
Yeah, the 1 got the perfect trip up the rail. I got nailed there.
Very funny. Here comes the 9. Here comes the 9. Oh, 1.
No, the 1 held. The 1 held. All right, just go to the next race. I have a slice of pizza in the toaster I almost forgot about.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
We'll rush through.
So the 9 horse was the EquinEdge long shot who actually got bet. Not an easy thing to do from the outside to be wide like that and run like that. So might want to watch for That's Money next time out. But that was a good effort there, rating a little bit too. But very funny, a big 2-1 favorite, 33%, ends up winning the race. I think that's how many top winners did the EquinEdge pick have? 1 there. Second pick 1 there. Top pick, that's 2. Top pick, that's 3. Top pick, that's 4. Top pick, that's 5. 5 of 6 of the top EquinEdge picks have won, and the second pick won the other. Pretty incredible. Okay, we've got to get out to Tampa Bay race number 6.
Okay, we got to get rolling. Yep.
I was just saying, David,
yep.
5 of the first 6 Scotty top picks have won, and the second pick won the other race.
Yep. I mean, it's on fire today.
Just insane. Okay, we have Tampa Bay race number 7 to cover. Again, we're going to fly right now, so it's not going to – hopefully we won't miss anything, but we're going to have to go very fast. Let's run this race.
Why is my volume still on? What the hell's going on here? Okay, 7th race at Tampa. And again, I struggle with these Tampa races, but I did land on somebody here, and we'll talk it through. Let me just pull up the.
So I can help you a little bit. The inside posts do very, very well at Tampa on the turf through this shoot, by the way.
Right, and I've noticed that. So we got a mile turf race, and again, the way I approach these races, a lot of times I'm looking for a horse that's got breeding for the turf, but has never hit the turf yet, and I'm getting a price. I didn't see. Yeah, I did settle on. I'll tell you what. Even though the barn is cold, the horse that I have circled here, I had 2 horses circled that I was interested in. It is the Flaming Proposition for Derek Ryan. Has raced on the turf at Meadowlands and won by a head, kind of going wire to wire, and could be on the lead here, but it's really only turf's try. That could have been a weak race. Let me see what the GSR is. SOR. I mean.
It was definitely a weak race, but the horse came back, in that non-graded stakes race and didn't run a terrible race, to be fair.
No.
So that was a big improvement, which kind of it looks like maybe this horse is improving. And you and I talked about this yesterday when we had that phone call, and we talked about, we're one of the new tools we're going to be introducing is a trend. And you're going to show you, if horses are trending down, up, or just kind of staying neutral. This would be, for me, one of the horses that is trending up. I don't know what its cap is, David, but it is trending upward, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. The question is, there does seem to be a pretty contentious pace here, right? you would think.
But we don't know that it needs the lead. Just because it went gate to wire and it's made does not necessarily mean it needs the lead.
Agreed. The only issue, I've seen horses coming out of the Meadowlands before.
Yeah.
And that limited card meet that they have at the Meadowlands is offshoot of Monmouth and is strictly turf. Normally those are pretty weak races, and in my experience, they don't come back to really, these horses don't come back to run well at other tracks. Yeah, I think the horse I'm going to take is the 9 Dumb Money. Based on the Monmouth sprint race, that this horse could be stalking from that outside post, and maybe it's fast enough to take the lead here. And then the other horse I'd be interested in is Contessa. Even though Contessa doesn't usually do well on turf, has a win sprinting on the turf in its first start at 12-1.
Who? Which horse?
The 10 Epithet.
Oh, Epithet.
Yeah, has won going sprinting in its first start at Saratoga, and that's a tough race. But now you're going to stretching out to a mile here, and I'm trying. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 9. I don't have a lot of confidence, but I'm going to go with the 9 over the 8.
What a tough race this is. I mean,
I told you I struggle with the Tampa races.
What about this 4? It is the EquinEdge long shot. It dueled last time out, going 5 furlongs in the synthetic. Think about this for a second. It's got 2 races going 5.5 on the turf and 1 on the synthetic, where it's all speed. All speed. Now draws a great post. It looks like there is some breeding over here that looks like it could go longer. Maybe it doesn't need the lead. It's going to have the lead. I'm going to take a chance on the 4.
Okay. Nice price. So you're going with the 4 Moon Factor. I'm going with the 9 Dumb Money. And my second ticket, I have the 8 Flaming Proposition. So 9-8 for me.
Okay, now we have Tampa Bay 8.
Tampa Bay 8. And again, another race that looks inscrutable to me. Let's see what I came up with here. I was actually looking for a price, and I think I'm settling on a horse that's normally not my type of horse, but let me just look at my notes on Tampa. All right, the simulator might give us some clarification here.
What do you think, David? You think Angel Cordero was the best jockey of all time?
In my opinion, yeah, because of his fearless type of nature. I mean, he might not get away with a lot of things in modern racing that he did years ago, but the guy had, be blunt, the guy had balls. And, he was emotional rider. And when he was fired up, to me, there was nobody better.
Yeah. He was a little bit before my time. So I didn't really, for me, Lafitte Pinkai was the best jockey.
West Coast, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, the best closer. If he broke the horse out of the gate, which he didn't always break the horse out of the gate, was Eddie Delahousie, who was so strong. And if you were going down the stretch with Eddie, you were not going to win that race very often.
Right.
And then right.
And I'll give credit to a jockey who in the beginning I wasn't a huge fan of, but Jerry Bailey on the front end in the New York day, he was just amazing rating a horse on the front end.
You know who else was good on the front end was Chris McCarron. Chris McCarron was great on the front end. But for me, the best gate jockey of all time, and there's been some decent ones, but then it's him, and then there's a big step down. You know who that might be?
Go ahead.
Pat Valenzuela.
Pat Valenzuela. Yeah, I heard, I didn't follow West Coast as much as I do now. So, but yeah, I heard good things about Valenzuela. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. He absolute maniac. Yeah, absolutely. He loved to party. He was crazy. I got a chance to know Pat, a couple of times, and I've got some crazy stories. Not one of the top jockeys, obviously, but one of the good guys, actually, Iggy Puglisi.
Okay. Yeah, heard. Yeah.
Oh my God. Iggy, just one of the better guys. Just absolutely. He loved to have fun, boy.
I
Those
hear
some of
you.
these jockeys, it's legendary. Let me tell you.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, yeah. I've heard some stories that I can't disclose. Yeah. So I'm looking at this Tampa race, and I originally was going to go with the 12, but just breaking its maiden at a mile. I think I'm changing my mind here. And again, I struggled. I'm going with the 9. Ain't nonsense. Second off a layoff. Didn't really fire, but drops down from a 16 claimer to an beaten 8 claimer, and maybe 7, maybe right up this horse's alley. So I'm going to use the 9 in both of my entries. I'm going to change that because I originally had the 12, and it might come back to bite me in the ass, but that's horse racing. So, okay. So who do you like here? Scotty, while you do that, I burnt my first slice of pizza, so I don't want to burn this other one. I should show it to you. It's like a charred broiled, it doesn't even look like a pizza.
Okay. I'm looking. It's the first time I've looked at this race, so bear with me, guys. First thing I noticed is jockey trainer combination of Sammy Camacho and Rodriguez is 35%. And the horse didn't break good from the rail last time, going 6 furlongs. And it looks like the horse, has tactical speed. I can definitely see where this horse might run a good race and save some ground. The horse has tactical speed. I think I'm going to go with the 6 horse just off of that. The great part about EquinEdge is that we can do that, right? We can, if we don't have time to handicap, we can kind of do that. Look, the horse broke from the rail last time out against Tougher and broke 8th, and then showed some speed rushing up before giving up late and letting off. And now Camacho jumps aboard. So Rodriguez must think that he's ready to win. And so he's putting his top jockey on there. And this wasn't a bad effort last time out here at this level against similar horses. This is not a strong field. Anything can happen. I'm not going to be surprised if you get a major bomb in here. And maybe you should play to protect. But unfortunately, I don't know who that major bomb would be that you would use. Keep on rocking. The connections don't win a lot. You're breaking from the 10 hole, and the horse is a terrible breaker. And even though the horse is dropping in class, I mean, if it breaks good, the 10 is going to win. I'll say that. If you want to count on this 10 horse breaking good, then David, this 10 can definitely win. But look, I mean, projected wise, this horse is going to be 2 or 3 lengths back. I mean, but look at this. I mean, this is like a wall of them closing. Yeah. The EquinEdge long shot, Real Mikey. Make a case for this horse for me.
I really couldn't there, Scotty. I'm not a big fan. Like I said, I struggled with this race. The only thing I can tell you is second race off a layoff. At the same level, may show improvement, but has been racing at five claimers in the past. I'm not sold. A 1% chance to win. I'll pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought you could go 5 or 6 deep here, and if I keep looking at it, I'm going to change my mind again. So right now I'm on the 9. Ain't nonsense. And by the way, would anybody eat this? Can you see this pizza? It's burnt.
Yeah. Oh my God.
At that. This is much better. And I'm slumming today. I'm eating frozen pizza, but this is not so bad.
Listen, frozen pizza, cold pizza, 2-day pizza is better than almost any kind of food.
There you go. I'm slumming it. I got frozen pizza, but I can't have frozen pizza without oregano. And then people will tell me, who puts oregano on pizza?
I've never heard of that before.
I love oregano on pizza.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, people put oregano on Italian food, so it makes, yeah.
All right. I think I'll give that burnt slice to the dog.
Can you send it over to me? I'll have it.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see here.
Where's Willie? Willie Nelson's always posting pictures of great-looking pizza from Jersey. So I said, next time I go down to Jersey, we'll meet for a slice. And next time I go to Monmouth. All right.
I'm going. Listen, complete hunch. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'm going with the 6 horse. I'm literally, that race is wide open. So I'm just going to take a chance on Harozon.
All right, and I'm on the 9 with kind of a guesstimate and not a lot of confidence, but That's why we play horses, right?
That's right.
That's why we play contests. You got to make a selection. It's not an optional.
Gulfstream Park, race number 9.
Okay, so race number 9, Gulfstream. I'm a little more comfortable with this race. We got a mile optional claimer on the main track, right up my alley. And then when I started looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I like the 2, I like the 3, I like the 4. I originally was settling on Beasley Speed, who has aired on this track and has been favored so many times. If you look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times favored in a row. Lost that last time out on a sloppy track, which I guess is an excuse, right? At 4-5, went down for the count. Showed speed the race before on a good track. At even money and lost to Belts and Brooks. Race before that was favored and aired by 10. Is it just a case, or maybe this horse just doesn't like an off track?
It could be. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's rated before. It was 63% to win last time, and it didn't win. That's a negative.
Yeah.
And so you can't like that. It's not in for a tag, so it's continuing to be protected. Probably one of the problems here is that the 7-horse Raging Fury. Well, Raging Fury doesn't need the lead. Raging Fury can rate. So Beastly Speed is going to have the lead. I would imagine fairly easily the 6 is going to have the lead. Raging Fury is going to be sitting from the outside with a perfect trip, especially if it breaks good. I would imagine, honestly, the 7's going to just be cruising. There's not really a lot of speed in here, and either 6 gets away and just wins this race. I will say this: it lost those last couple of races, but it was dueling in both those races. So I don't think the 7's going to duel with the 6. That would be a bad move. I think Irad's just going to sit off of the 6, I would imagine, or maybe the 6 breaks bad and Irad sends. But I'm going to take Irad with that post position. I'm just going to go with the 7 Raging Fury.
Okay, and in contest, Scotty, I can't take Irad. Overbet, I don't want any part of them unless I think the horse is an absolute lock. I think this race is a little more wide open. I see your point. Could get a perfect trip here stalking the 6, but I'm going to go with the 6. Rebounding, I just think maybe the 6 does not, maybe despises an off track. So I'm going with the 6 on one ticket. And then I'm going to go with the 2 on the other ticket, Knox, who I think has won at the distance before, 2 Delgados. And when you have 2 trainers, one trainer with 2 horses in one race, I'm going to go with the bigger price. So on my one ticket, I will have the 6 on top. The other ticket, I will have the 2. So it's 6-2 for me.
All right. We've got 10 minutes to get our plays in.
Okay.
So we've got, I'm going to get rid of that. Let's run this race. We've got 8.5 furlongs. You can see where that starting point is. So being outside is not necessarily a great place to be, although it looks like the 10 has speed, but it's not that much faster than the rest of these. And the 11. Mm-hmm. So to me, we could end up seeing a really a solid pace. I really want to look for a horse in the first 5 or 6 positions that seems to be closing. And so far, look at the move of the 1 horse in the race simulator. It's going to be sitting back there and make a move. Here comes the 2. It's saved ground 2. Here comes the 5. We could see a price in here. We could see a price.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I just thought. This was another wide open race. And when I look at this, they have the 10 with the early speed, right? But going to take pace pressure from the 11. The 6 will be up there, and this is one I didn't make a selection yet. So let me look at it one last time. Yeah, these late races at Tampa and now Gulfstream turn out to be head scratches.
So I'll go while you're doing that. The 3-horse Awesome Campaign is a first-time starter with some decent works. Irad and Crinkton for this first-time starter, 28% jockey trainer combination, and then you can see Johnny Velasquez gets on the 1 horse. Now it doesn't look like it's been facing that tough a competition. but it broke bad last time out, 2 back on the turf. It didn't run a bad third place finish against 9 other horses, and it saves ground on the inside, and there seems to be a lot of speed. That's going to really set it up for somebody on the inside. Maybe it's the EquinEdge long shot. Not a bad effort here. First time on the turf. Not really bred for the turf. So I don't necessarily love that, but certainly deserves a look.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that the 8's going to get a great trip. It's fast, but I can see. I would have thought that the 8 horse would get a higher win percentage, David, off of this huge drop. I mean, it's dropping from a 56 to a 42.
Yeah.
It only goes from 9% to 20. There's just something with this 8 horse that I'm a little worried about. And why is it 5-1 EE morning line? Why is it not, 8-5, 2-1?
Yeah, that's the horse that I ultimately think I'm settling on here, but I'm wavering. Mia Vida. Again, this is kind of my move in my MO. We've got a horse first time on turf, bred by Uncle Mo. Didn't show much. It ran evenly in first start, and then the second start kind of showed a little speed, and then faded, and may take the lead here. Yeah, I thought it was the horses I was interested in were going to be the either the 8 Miss Vida, the EE or Scotty top pick, or the 1 Breeze Through Time with JV taking that mount from that cozy inside post. Jaramillo off, and does he have a mount in this race? I don't believe so. So yeah, let me go with my two boys. The 8 Miss Vida with Louis Saez, and the 1 Breeze Through Time with my boy Johnny V.
So I desperately want to like this 11 horse, but that post is absolutely atrocious. This horse is moving big time up in GSR. This horse is begging to stretch out on the turf, and it can run on dirt too. It just wants to go longer. And when I run the race simulator, look where it's at. I mean, it's just not a great position to be at 8.5 furlongs here. So I'm just struggling with that post. I really do feel like the 11's the best horse in the race, and maybe somehow Zayas is gonna work the trip out for Safi Joseph. Safi claimed this horse for $16,000 and puts it on the turf. You tell me that he didn't plan on claiming that horse for 16 and throwing it on the turf here for 32 or 35. That was the plan. Right.
But claimed out of a lower level race, which made me a little skeptical. 16, and now moving up. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that clearly was the plan. I'm going to settle in on the 3 horse because I'm going to take Irad. I'm going to take the first time starter. I like 311.
Okay, we didn't do the 9th. So 311 for Scotty. Okay,
that's the 10th at Gulfstream.
We got to do the 9th at Tampa.
At Tampa, that's right.
That's the last one. Yeah.
9th at Tampa, and we have 4 minutes.
Okay, I'll make it easy. I am going with a repeat win for the 5 Whispering Sea. Michael Trombetta. Gallardo picks up the mount, ships down from Laurel, and has been in pretty decent form. It's not with 20,000 claimer at Laurel, probably equates pretty well, fits into this race pretty well. So I didn't look at it too much. I don't love having a favorite in the last race, but I couldn't find anything else here. So I went with the 5 Whispering Sea.
All right, David's on the 5. So 5 horse really finishing fast. You're going to see the 9's going to be flying on the lead. I mean, super fast. That is a really big pace number.
Big pace advantage. Yep.
I mean, this horse is not impossible, but I mean, it's going to be stopping. It's going to be coming back to them, but it's not impossible. I will say that. Like, that's a big advantage.
Hey, listen, Scotty, I've seen these wire jobs at big prices at Tampa all the time in the past years on NHC contests. So it wouldn't surprise me. This horse could have a lead for an awful long time based on that 92 pace metric, with the second highest being 60. I even say so many times I'll say that with a pace advantage that high, it just justifies a play, right? Even if the horse is a crazy long shot.
So I think one of the players. I mean, the 5 horse is obviously a player. It's big odds. It just barely got through a non-winners of 2 lifetime last time out. It's moving up here, whereas the 4 horse against better than this last time out, a lot better. Barely lost last time out at 20-1. So I'm going to take a chance in a race that seems wide open to me on the 4 horse.
Okay, so Scotty McKeever has got the 4, and that is Delight Summer. There's my guy Bennett. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, I'm going to try to beat you with the Scotty top pick, Whispering Sea.
All right, so we did it. We're all in. Aqueduct race number 7 is coming up here in a couple of minutes. I'm on the 2 horse. You're wait, Aqueduct 7. Hold on. Who did I choose? Okay, so I put in the 2. I'm changing that. I wanted to change that to the 7, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you said calling an audible, right?
Oh, okay. I know what I did. Yeah, I want the 7. I'm taking the 7.
So you're calling another audible.
I'm calling an audible. Exactly.
All right. So I went with who did I go with here? I got 2 tickets today. That's how confident I feel. Oh, I have to change. On the one, I have the 8 monetary monarch at 20-1. I don't want catchphrase at 3-5. So I'm going to use the 1 on the second pick. Where's my catchphrase 1? I'm never going to use, so I'm going to change that to a 1. Okay. So I'm on the 8 monetary monarch on 1 ticket and the 1 good mission on my second ticket. And
the 6 horse won the 5th race over at Gulfstream Park. That was My Voodoo Doll.
Okay.
Came in 6-2-5. 2 horse, a big long. Actually, look at the 2 horse. 15-1 it went off at top pace. 3-1 on the EE morning line. Wow. I mean, that's the kind of horse you're looking for.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yep. I have a question for you, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
Looking at the odds in this race at the Big A.
Yeah.
If this was a mandatory race when we're in the NHC in a couple of months, this is a mandatory race.
Okay.
There's no way you're using the 2.
Nope.
At 1-2, you can't.
No.
Because your only upside is you're going to be up, $4.60 or $5. Now, your strategy would be not to use the second choice, but to use maybe a little bit of a long shot that could maybe get up for second if the 2 does win.
What if you were on Saturday and it was the last mandatory race and you were right there in contention to get into the top 10%? What would you do then?
I still wouldn't take a 3-5.
No,
because you figure, that board is so tight that how many people are going to have, other horses 3-5, maybe, you may have a bunch of people who are just making the cut, take that horse, which is going to prevent you from moving up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm figuring if you're that close, I'll go with the gusto. I go with the 8 here in any case. Like if I'm going to qualify, I want to just way surpass that cut line because my goal is not to make the cut line just to make the cut line. My goal is to win the whole thing or get to the final table first. Then we'll worry about the winning the whole thing. You follow me?
Yep.
No, why not take a shot? But if with 2 tickets, it comes a little more interesting strategy, right?
Yeah, it does for sure. Catchphrase right now is your favorite at 1-2. Yeah, that's crazy, Chris. Dead heated at 9-5, and that got you second. Dead heated for second, and you secured. Oh, that's incredible.
All right, and they're off. Yeah, 2 takes the lead right out of the gate. What's
so hard to beat this 2. This 5 is going to have to press.
outside. That's Splashy, who hasn't given up the chase yet. Catchphrase, stubborn foe towards the outside.
It's going to be tight.
Yeah, I'm going to get it.
Here's Splashy now taking the lead. Catchphrase is getting towards the inside, though.
Yeah, Splashy doesn't like to win.
Yeah, I'm mad at myself.
Like it's gonna do today, yeah.
It's between the 5 and the 2, and and there's always something to be learned from that. Honestly, it was between the horses, but you have to take. And I know better than this, but it looked like the 7 was going to be closer than the 5, at least on the race simulator. But the 5 horse broke good and ran a good race. I mean, the 5 horse was obviously the other horse. And man, I tell you what, we're hot in fire over at Aqueduct, aren't we?
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, the 5. I wasn't sold on the 5 because of all those turf starts.
Well, here's the difference. The 5 finally broke good.
Yes, and we had mentioned that at the 5. Yeah.
Well, and not only that too, David. If you look, if you should look at these tabs, it shows that this horse is supposed to like dirt more than it is turf. If you look at that.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So I know it's been running on the turf, but it broke very well. That's all I can say. Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, probably the 5 should have been the horse to play.
Right, at 5-1. Right.
Yeah.
And
probably
ended up being the 3rd choice. So that's not a bad price, but you did beat, right? There's no upside to taking a 1-2. And I just went to the wrong horse. I went to the 1, who's the 4th choice, and then the 8, who was a long shot, who actually saw the pace for a while.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I tell you, he is really clicking today.
Whew, on fire. I'm going to have to send a tweet on that. Well, David, we did it. That went by very, very fast. We were on 3 hours, something like that, 3.5 hours. So, but always enjoyable, my friend. And we'll look for, are you going to be on the stretch run tomorrow with the guys?
I'm not sure at this point. I will be working on my notes tonight and tomorrow for the Big A, for a big Saturday card.
Okay, good.
But I just wanted to, Chris Couples, just before we leave, 3 years ago, I got to Sunday securing the last spot with a 9-5 horse that dead heated for second in the very last race. It was extremely nuts. Don't Swear Dave was the last race of my final table NHC. So we have history with Don't Swear Dave. So when I ended up holding on to win because the 8-5 shot won and Don't Swear Dave plugged up for second, that wouldn't have made a difference anyway because nobody behind me would have had that 8-5. It was a joke with Don't Swear Dave because I'm coming off the stage and Dave Weaver is there and I'm like, don't swear, Dave. I'm going to swear. I just won the NHC. So it's funny that you brought that horse up, Chris. But never forget that day. Absolutely.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Well, listen, my friend, best of weekends to you. Stay safe.
You too, my friend.
Okay. Yep. And good luck this weekend. And then we'll obviously see you next Friday. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. Have a blessed weekend. Stay safe and have a lot of success on the races. And we will see you maybe even Wednesday. Look for maybe a Wednesday show with Dave Weaver and I as well. The Ice Cold Exacta show. So, all right, you guys, we will see you soon.
All right. May the horse be with you.